Apple posting its steepest quarterly decline in iPhone sales since the outset of the pandemic.
The results reflect a deepening slump that's increasing the pressure on the trend-setting company to spruce up its products with more artificial intelligence. The 10% drop in year-over-year iPhone sales for the January to March period is the latest sign of weakness in a product that generates most of Apple's revenue. It marked the biggest drop in iPhone sales since the July to September period in 2020. That's when production bottlenecks caused by factory closures during the pandemic resulted in a delayed release of the new model that year. Jeremy House reporting.
China has launched a lunar probe to land on the far side of the moon and return with samples could provide insight into the differences between the less explored region and the better-known near side, the latest advance in China's increasingly aggressive space program. News and analysis, townhall.com. President Biden set to award the Presidential Medal of Freedom to 19 individuals for their noteworthy contributions in several fields.
It's the nation's highest civilian honor. Well-known recipients include John Kerry, Nancy Pelosi, Al Gore, and Michael Bloomberg, Olympic swimming phenom Katie Ledecky, and Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh. 93-year-old civil rights activist Clarence B. Jones, who helped write Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, says he thought he was being pranked when he received the call from the White House. The other recipients are Representative James Clyburn, former Senator Elizabeth Dole, Teresa Romero, president of the United Farm Workers, and astronomer Jane Rigby, chief scientist of the world's most powerful telescope. 3 posthumous recipients are civil rights activist Medgar Evers, Native American gold medalist Jim Thorpe, and former Senator Frank Lautenberg of New Jersey. Jennifer King, Washington.
Wall Street futures are soaring following this morning's release of the April jobs report. The Dow futures up 488 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday.
Oh,
We made it.
even the bell took the weekend off.
The bell is saying, it is Friday, I'm out.
I'm done. I'm out.
Happy Friday. Happy first Friday of the month of May.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Tomorrow's Star Wars Day. For all the Star
And then
Wars.
Sunday, of course, Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to mile for everybody else.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever. If you want to be traditional about it.
But yeah, of course, lots going on. Of course, we got the big carnival and Moms Love and Hope. That's the big climax weekend here with the Cinco de Mayo weekend, where they're going to be doing all the, there's still the rides and all that, but I think all the jalapeno eating and taco eating contests,
Live entertainment out there,
live music, all that's happening this weekend. Yeah. So out at the and all that's taking place out at the Wool Bowl there in the parking lot. They'll start firing up here about 6 o'clock this evening, I think, with the rides and all that. I think they go to 11 tonight. And then I think they open at 1 tomorrow, and then 4 on Sunday.
Yep, and 4 o'clock on Sunday. Yes, sir.
That's correct. And then, of course, we cannot forget the big grand opening of Game Day Roswell tomorrow, too. Tom and everybody with Game Day Roswell, they're going to have, they're open now. So at 11 o'clock, you come on down and have a good time. But they're having their big grand opening celebration tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 1. And they're going to have free food, hot dogs. They're going to have free games.
Yes.
So come and check out all the games of yesteryear and the games of today, too. They got, darts and billiards and ice hockey. And then, of course, if you want to bust out your Donkey Kong or Galaga or Space Invader skills. And that's what I love. It's like whatever generation, like if you were even like my generation where you played the Donkey Kong and they got them there.
Mm-hmm.
But the next generation, your Mortal Kombat, the ones that were evolved into kind of the more, just more involved games, arcade games.
They got one of the coolest innovations of my generation was when they put out the ride-on games.
Yeah,
where you could like get on the thing and like it's the immersive experience. And they have Roadburner.
Oh, and the other cool part, remember back in the day when they started having those games and they charged like 75 cents for a game. Almost every single one of his games are quarters.
25.
Yeah.
So you can literally have that experience of slapping a quarter, holding a beer in one hand, slapping a quarter down on the counter and being like, I got next. And he's got cup holders for all his video game consoles. You can pop your drink down here and your hands are free for gaming.
Yeah. It's kind of like the whole fun old school arcade experience, but with little things like, man, I wish we did this or I wish we had that. You know what I mean? Cup holders, things like that. That and of course, they got the full, where you can get snacks and everything, get some beer specials and all that, and they're having all that tomorrow too. But that all kicks underway 1:00 tomorrow. They're on Sunset, right next to Uncle Sud's Laundry. Game Day Roswell. It's now open. Come check it out. And Tom's done an amazing job of because Sean and I got to go check it out about a month ago, and I ain't gonna lie, it's a great place to just go and hang out.
Yeah, the brain starts to wander. There's so many opportunities. Like you can do a pool tournament there. They got the dart boards or dart tournaments. Yeah. I mean, you could even run like a Cubert tournament or something, on weekends. I mean, I saw it with just people kind of running around in the life. I know, it made me laugh too.
He's jinxing it, man.
I know. Why do you got to bring it up? Her boss is like, hey, everything's working. What's that about? But yeah, no, it really is. It's a cool place to kind of let those nostalgic experiences out and, wash a load of socks at the same time.
Exactly. That's the other part too. Like if you got chores to do, Uncle Sud's Laundry's right next door. Come in, drop, and to be honest, say someone's on your game over there, because if you ever go to Uncle Sud's, they've got a few games and things over there too. So I'm just saying.
If you guys make out a chore list as a family, just always opt for laundry. Like we have a washer and dryer. I don't care. I'm going to Uncle Sud's. I'm out.
There we go. Dance pad games. Get your drink on and go have some fun. Dance in the dance thing. Dance Revolution things. Yeah, heck yeah. That's what that place is for. But
that's right.
Definitely come check it out. The big grand opening's tomorrow. And if you can't wait, I think he opens up about 11 o'clock this morning if you want to get in there. But all the fun and the free games and free hot dogs and all that will be tomorrow. So, but go check it out today. Get you maybe today's the day you go in there, bust your high score on Donkey Kong, and you just sit there and wait tomorrow and see if anybody can
watch.
Get the
Yeah, that's right. You can't beat ASS. You wish you could.
Right.
Nobody ever puts their real initials in.
What was yours?
Well, my initials.
Your three different.
SAM. I liked mine.
Did you always put that in?
I liked mine because because it actually was Sam. It was an acronym.
I always did MIK, Mick.
Yeah.
That was my, that was always, whenever if I got on the
People
thing.
are like, M's not the first letter of small. I dropped the S for the last name. It's just Malls.
Right. It Malls. Well, it was a different time. We hung out in Malls back then.
Yeah.
So that,
exactly.
his radio name fitted that. So.
Totally.
When he goes up to New York, he changes it to Sean Falls.
It's actually Sean apostrophe S. Sean's Malls.
Yeah. Well, he's a DJ in Niagara, Sean Falls.
Sean Falls. After the.
Yeah.
I always felt like in a barrel is probably the least safe way to go over a falls. Like you were.
I don't know all the history, but I think the only time they've had successfully people not die doing it, they were in a barrel.
That they were in a barrel.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would cause more, like your body's all crunched up, so you more compression.
Yeah.
I apparently don't know falls science.
I don't know either, but there was a lady I think that successfully went over the falls I could be wrong, maybe she died, but I thought there was like a lady that was successfully went through the thing and it was in a barrel. And this was like the 1920s or something. It was something something long time ago.
First recorded person to survive going over the falls was school teacher Annie Edson.
There she is.
Annie Edson Taylor, who in 1901 successfully completed the stunt inside of an oak barrel. The following 123 years, thousands of people have been swept over the falls, but only 16 people have reportedly survived the fall. So, there you go.
That's my head. Things like that rattle around in there.
Right.
I didn't know all the details, but I remember there was like some lady who did it. That's the one.
There you go.
But anyway, so Sean Falls, back in the 80s, Niagara.
That's right.
Niagara's Power Rock.
Falls 101.5.
Bam.
The Fall.
Of rock
It would
and
be
roll.
The Fall. They would just drop the
That's
S.
right.
The Fall 101.5. Playing the best new rock, Evanescence, Nickelback, Foo Fighters.
Next Stone Temple Pilots.
Anytime you drop you're like, the hottest, newest, freshest rock with Evanescence. Wait, what? And this was the one I always loved was the only rock that really rocks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good one too. That's a good one too. I had a moment of that like a couple days ago. And there's gonna be a few fans that are gonna be mad about this one, but sorry. Apparently the 90s, I guess early 2000s, right? Bush is going to be playing in Albuquerque, and so there's a commercial for Bush, and the thing that gets me because Kim has heard of Bush, but and so the commercial plays. I said, Kim, I know it sounded like you only heard one song, but that was 5 different Bush hits in that song. That commercial. I know every one of them sounded exactly the same. But if you listen, it's like it's one song. But no, and then I listened. I said there was actually 5 different Bush songs. Because Bush, every one of their songs sound the same to me.
You know what's funny is I didn't experience this until the Gin Blossoms concert.
Yeah.
But you realize that music stays crystallized in a specific era of time.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm listening to the Gin Blossoms, it was good music. I was enjoying it, but I just kept getting this vibe. And the vibe was the opening credits for The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Well, it was a Nickelodeon series from the early 90s, but it was very much that grunge, everybody wearing flannels.
Oh, really? A lot of flannels,
The
huh?
shirts tied around the waist, kind of. It was that.
Wow.
It was that kind of feel.
Wow.
That's what the music evoked. It was evocative in that way.
Yeah. But was the audience that way?
I didn't see a lot of flannels, but they were giving off real big flannel energy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like this is what happens. You see the adult versions of the kids of the disaffected grunge generation, It's like what happens when they grow up and have to become adults.
I think they're the reason why we're now seeing grown men wear expensive suits with sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the spawn of that.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I get it. I know the money that's cost on these sneakers. I get they're just as expensive, but it doesn't look like when a grown man wears a nice big black gray or whatever business suit and then they're wearing Nikes. It just looks off-putting to me. I
would argue that's less from the disaffected grunge generation. I would argue more from the not the revival run, but the original run of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. The rise of the metrosexual.
Okay.
And how everybody was kind of doing that thing. I think that was a big part of it. It was business casual.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a blazer, but there's a t-shirt underneath.
Yeah.
Let's listen to what it's literally that generation's. He's sitting backwards in his chair. Let's hear what he has to say.
All right.
I know.
It's just and I'm sure this is at this point it's old man yells at lawn kind of thing, but
there was a whole period of time where I insisted, oh my God, I can't even do it anymore with my hips.
Did.
This is every morning how I used to sit
I know.
at the microphone at the mix. This hurts so bad right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Of course, the chair you did that in was a narrower chair.
It was a lot narrower, yeah.
Yeah.
But, these chairs are not built to sit
And to be
formally.
honest, that chair lasted for years. But
I don't know if I can get up.
Sean also made that chair unusable for everybody else.
Yeah. No, it's slanted to one side. It was
it was beat hard.
It was rough. It was just like a just wrought iron chair, like a metal chair. There was no cushion on it or anything.
Yeah.
But I wore bejeepers out of that thing. You know why? Because I was there. I was committed.
Matter of fact, I saw him pull French fries.
I was just going to say, if there was a French fry on my butt, I was going to eat it because doggone it, that's what had to be done.
That's the chair he donned them in.
Some people say they pay their dues. Other people do it.
That's true. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw the time. Better get the hour going. We're going to replay an interview this hour. We had the folks from VFW Post 12184, Mac and Jason joined us. We're going to play that update. They got their golf tournament coming up. They got quite a few things coming up, actually. Day of service this Saturday. In the 8 o'clock hour, earlier in the week, we had Dr. Keon Agar from Carabelli Dental join us, so we're going to play that interview for you. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Barbara Gomez with Main Street Roswell will join us for her monthly visit, give us an update what's happening in and around Main Street Roswell. Plus, all of your features that include the news of the local, national variety, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Sunny and warm today with high pressure overhead for now. We'll be in the upper 80s on this afternoon's high. Looks like mid-50s and clear for the overnight hours. And then a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up for Saturday. We'll stay in the low 80s. Quick cold front moving through. We might get a few showers or thunderstorms. Scattered showers on Saturday night. Then we're back to sunny, warm, and breezy weather on Sunday. Upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton. That's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 58 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 42%. Winds, they are existing. They're just not available, according to my list. I got a big fat NA for the winds right now. Sunny and a high of 92 today. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 this morning, 15 to 20 miles per hour for this afternoon. Increasing clouds tonight with an overnight low of 57 degrees. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, there's a 20% chance for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy. High of, am I reading this right? 78 tomorrow. Wow, we're getting a little cooler tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. I guess those afternoon breezes today are going to blow in some cooler winds and tonight, because 78 for a high tomorrow, I'm listening and I'm liking, I ain't going to lie. We do have a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms for Saturday night. Mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 57. Sunday, mostly cloudy to start, then gradually becoming mostly sunny. Expect highs mid-80s with winds breezy out of the east, 5 to 10 early, shifting to the south and increasing 15 to 25 by Sunday afternoon. Sunday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 56. Winds will remain breezy. And then Monday... looks like we're going to have all the patchy blowing dust and all that hot mess, but breezy and sunny with a high of 89. All right, 7:20, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with our veterans from VFW Post 12184. That's up next. Don't go away.
Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Nybert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Nybert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Nybert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
This is Candy Spency-Zell. I've been involved in agriculture my whole life. I own our cattle ranch with my husband, and I still own family farms with my brothers down by Artesia. My dad was a farmer, his dad was a farmer. Agriculture and livestock is in my blood, and that's who I am. I have a lifetime's worth of experience and knowledge on the issues facing farmers and ranchers in New Mexico. I'm running for the state senate because I want to fight for our rights and our needs. I will protect our water in New Mexico, and especially here in the southeast. I will make sure that water rights from our basins are not bought up by developers and pumped to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. As your senator, I will protect our water. I'm Candy Spency Zell asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spency Zell for State Senate, District 32.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from your Roswell VFW post 12184, Mac Dyer, Jason Burke back with us. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning. How's
actually, Mike, there are 3 members of
you're
post
correct.
12184 in this room.
I am officially official now.
Yes, sir.
Got a card and everything.
Fantastic.
So yes, 3, but leadership of VFW post 12184 joining us this morning here. First off, I'm officially a member. I signed up I think about a month ago here. I got the application turned. I have yet to do anything because I'm a little busy. But
you're doing this.
Well, and this is a way, and I understand. Sure, you want members to be active and to be there, but even if you can't, being a member of the Post by supporting financially, by spreading the word via your social medias and the way you spread the word, that is a big asset to the VFW Posts too. So if you're a veteran and want to be a part of it and you qualify, for membership here, even if you can't be at every VFW event, it's still important that you support it. Even if you by signing up, by being a member, we get it. Life's busy. You got 100 things. You're like, I can't dedicate to every event here, but you know what, I can say, I'd like to come to the meetings. I'd like to at least be a member and show my support, because quite frankly, that's, it's grassroots. Yes, VFW is a huge national organization. It's got a lot of connections and things like that, but when you get to the post level here, you want to do something, it's grassroots. You got to raise your money, you got to work, you got to, if you want to be, do service here, or you want to do some, the social side of VFW, someone's got to pay for that stuff.
And like I said last month, that membership, that number is important. It's not just for the sake of collecting members, but it's for the sake of legislation.
Absolutely. Strength in numbers. When you guys are fighting to get veterans issues and stuff like that, it sure looks a lot better when they say we got millions of people behind us on this one versus we got about 100 guys.
I got to go to Washington D.C. 2 months ago to represent the VFW and talk to all of our congressmen and senators.
Yeah,
and if you don't have over 1 million people, they don't.
Exactly.
They put you in a small room and you talk to a staff member.
To be respected or to be heard, you've got to come with an entourage. And that's so by you supporting the VFW, even if, and please understand, we want you to come to meetings, we want you involved, but if you're thinking a time commitment's an issue for me here, don't let that necessarily stop you from being a member. Even if you can't come to all the meetings, you're still showing your support by being a member, by paying your dues. When those moments when we're talking to our legislators and talking to the people that have influence, we come with weight. We don't come with because with just 1 or 2 dudes in the room complaining, it's just Karen's complaining.
Exactly.
It's not.
And if you have a million members, those 1 or 2 dudes, their voices are amplified 1 million times.
Absolutely. And that's why really you see your veterans organizations do work hand in hand. That's why VFW and American Legion, your Veteran Reform Wars, all the different tentpole organizations out there, they're separate, but they all have the same common goal. And
exactly.
So when it comes to push comes to shove, it's a united front.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So by you coming in and paying your dues and becoming a member, that you are supporting the VFW. You're helping to foster so the next generation has the same rights and protections or better ones than you have today.
Exactly. Yeah, and I tell that to our members every month that because you get a lot of guys in there, maybe they don't have the confidence to come up here and maybe speak on the radio or go out in public and do something, but everybody plays a part. Everybody has a different skill or a connection, somebody else, and everybody can contribute.
And here's the other side. I think, too, is becoming, I mean, like you say, well, time commit, but even if you commit a little bit, say, hey, I'll come to, maybe every other meeting or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's that other side, the social side, the side that veterans and a lot of people need, everybody needs. But veterans particularly, because veterans, we're stubborn people. Just, we are by nature, and you could tell us the best idea in the world, but until you plan it to make it like it's our idea, it's not a good idea. So we're a little stubborn like that, and I'm not saying everyone, but there's a stereotype there, and there's a reason for it, and veterans are like that, and so sometimes breaking through to people like that, it takes people like that,
mm-hmm.
and generally speaking, veterans, because of what they've seen and done, they're going to be a little jaded to things, or not so accepting to trust something at face value, because training and life experiences have taught them different.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes to get through to those types and to help and to kind of make them the mental health side of it, the friends and the human part that we all love, hanging out and camaraderie and all that stuff. VFW plays such an important role in that side too for your veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need that kind of, if you're looking for friends, you're looking to just hang out, people that you can tell war stories and not feel, or they understand.
Yeah, you're
what's
not judged,
going on, the limits, where to talk and where to. We don't talk about that. You know what I mean? They have chewed a little bit of that dirt with you. They get that.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that's the greatest mental health you can have, is just being understood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what VFW does, is
Mm-hmm.
understand people that may not feel understood
Yep.
in certain circles in this country anymore. And so that's why this is important. So yes, be it, if you're looking at time and all that, but please treat this for your own needs as well too. We look at this as we sign up so you can serve, and that's kind of military mindset, but we also want to say sign up so we can serve you too.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Most definitely.
that's part of this too, is we got to watch each other six. You've heard that term 1,000 times in military, and it translates off the battlefield. It really does. It just, and it probably more so,
mm-hmm.
because battlefield's a fleet in the moment thing, emotion, this and that happening, but the not doing it on this side, it has the same kind of lifelong impacts.
Absolutely.
So it's very important to do all that. So please use the VFW as your mental health, as your therapy, once a month or a couple times a month, whatever you want to do here.
Yeah.
That need is very much a part of this too.
Most definitely.
Good deal. So kind of give an update what you guys are up to. Here's a post.
We've been busy, and we got a lot of stuff coming up too. Immediately this weekend is the VFW's National Day of Service. Saturday is May 4th.
Speaking of that service thing we were just talking about.
Yeah. Across the nation, it's going to be a big day, and
So you're going to see VFW posts all over the land, out doing various service projects, their tent pole passion projects that they're into, and things like that. And you guys will be out and about too.
Yeah, we're going to be we're going to all the assisted living facilities this weekend. We're going to spend some time with the veterans. We're also doing a clothing drive, so they're always in need of clothing at the assisted living.
So if you've got some clothing,
some old, gently used, men's, women's, all sizes,
warm, cold. We're the land of manana, and one day it's 800, next day it's 30. So.
Powerball weather station.
So long, and think about it too. We are dealing with seniors.
Yes,
seniors generally like the longer sleeves, warmer clothing. They're as I'm getting older, I've noticed my skin's getting thinner too. And times where I used to always be hot, now I'm just normal. And times where I used to be, just normal, and now I'm cold. So think in that direction too, because like as I said, and of course, I would imagine if you want to come out and hang out with the vets as they're visiting and stuff, even though you're not technically a part, you just want to see and see what it's about. Please come and. You know what? I invite you to come and share some stories with and talk with some of the folks that are in the homes too, because like it or not, every assisted living home is an encyclopedia of wealth, knowledge, and information and life experiences.
Yes.
And I think every young person should spend a weekend in their life hanging out and speaking and talking with our seniors. and they will have a different perspective on life than I think
Yeah.
we will. And so, and unfortunately, that's a resource that you're going to tap into. That's a dying. I mean, it's only here a finite amount of time. So, experience it while you can. So come out with the vets, and come out and as we talk and visit and take care of some of their ancillary needs, and just give. And that's the biggest thing too, is a lot of these folks,
they don't have anybody.
They're lonely.
Yeah.
No. They're looking for, and I know, I think we've all at some point in our lives have spent time in a assisted living facility and things, and I know they all try to make it as happy and warm, but I mean, let's just face it. There's a certain aura about every one of these places.
It's got that institutional aura
it's
to
the place,
it.
the mindset of this is where you go to die, and that's just you can't shake that.
Yeah.
No matter how nice you make it, you can't shake that. And so sometimes the best thing to remind you to not worry about that kind of thing and just live life in the moment is coming out and spending time, having a meal, chit-chatting.
And they're
coming for lunch.
They're always looking for volunteers there too. I mean, they do their activities, like they love to play bingo there, and they always look for somebody new to come call bingo.
Yeah.
They get a different face out there.
And I know they've been really strict since COVID on who they can let in and let out and that stuff, but some of that's coming down now, and we're getting to more, I wouldn't say quite pre-COVID, but more like pre-COVID than we certainly were
definitely.
Before here. So, and as it should, because quite frankly, when you can have your opinions on COVID and all that, because we all got them, but the one place that we all could probably agree that it probably needs to make sure we shut down our places like that quite frankly, everybody in that building has got compromised immune systems.
Mm-hmm.
So what time you're gonna be starting your rounds here?
We're gonna start at 10 o'clock on Saturday at Casa Maria.
Okay, are you gonna try to hit them all, or Casa Maria?
We're still waiting on.
Depends how many people you got available.
Waiting on permission. It's a corporate deal, so we got to get permission for the other one.
So if they let you, you're going.
Yeah, it's going to be a regular thing though. We're starting up. This is our first week, and then we're gonna do it at least monthly. We're gonna try to do it weekly.
Okay,
so
excellent. So literally getting foot in your door now with some of these places and establishing that relationship and things, and hopefully here in a couple months it's kind of a regular thing, and it's like, hey, Jason and Matt, come on in.
Yep, it's just another, just like our our golf tournament coming up. It's a tradition that we want to start establishing, and that way we'll be more established within the community. And
because are we third now? The golf tournament?
Second.
This is still second. I'm trying to think. Are we up to number 3 or number 2? I can't remember, because the first one was very successful, and I'm like, was that the second one? Now that I'm thinking about it.
This will be the second one.
Yep.
But before we shift to that, though, I want to make sure we get some other information about day of service and all that, too.
Only thing is, if anybody wants to drop off any clothing, drop it off at 1005 West McGaffey at the Dragon Soldier Depot.
Okay.
It's my store there. They can just drop it off there, and we'll sort through it and get it out to them over the next couple of weeks.
And that's a vet-owned business. While you're there, if you want to do a little shopping and support him, I invite you to do that.
It's a nice-looking shop.
He's a very community-minded person, and like you said, well, here we go. He's being a drop-off location for that. So, and by the way, if you need shirts and all kinds of stuff, apparel things, he's got you covered.
Come see us. Come spend some time.
Yeah, and come see and come hang out. Come meet the guys at VFW, and if you'd like to come to a meeting, you guys meet the last Thursday of the month. You guys, we're
still at Grace Church.
Still at Grace. I know. Working on.
Working
like
on
other organizations, looking to find your own home here.
Looking for a home.
Yeah, it's easier said than done sometimes. Real estate's not cheap.
No, it's a challenge, especially
real
for a
estate.
nonprofit.
It's something you can kind of move into. I mean, and we're not. I know veterans. We're not opposed to sweat equity. We'll go in there and fix things up, but we're not experts on all of that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I can paint and hang drywall. That's about it.
Right. Yeah. Veterans know enough to be dangerous sometimes.
Yep.
I mean, when it comes to military equipment, the military doesn't.
We can break it all.
But they dumb it down so much when they do training that literally they can train anyone to work on a multi-million-dollar aircraft or tank or something. Because trust me, I did it, and if I can do it, any idiot can do it. And
I did it.
But they really, and I'm not really that mechanic. I mean, I did well enough on my ASVAB to pass on the mechanic side, but that's not my forte. And I got through, and they do an amazing job of training you. But that being said, veterans are terms like jerry rig and all that these come from the military, because we will cut a corner if no one's looking.
All you need is duct tape and 550 cord.
That's right. Yeah. Shoot, I put more tape on wings than the Air Force.
Yep.
By the way, that's legit speed tape. It's actually a thing. But that, but when you tell people, but you taping on the wings, yeah. I love when I see those videos online of like commercial aircraft on it, and the passengers are saying, "What's going on here?" Speed tape, bud. Relax.
Speed
All
tape.
right.
If you don't see no hydraulic fluid leaking out of that
That's
helicopter,
right. That's when you got a
you're
problem.
scared.
You got problems.
Yeah, the speed tape. You're be glad it's still there. But anyway, that's if you please come out and if you want to get involved and come be a part. Like you said, that it's still growing. So even as you get more members and things, I think the mission will change a little bit. The passions that the Post have will shift a little bit. We're focusing on our seniors here. I imagine as more membership comes in, you're going to find other needs in other areas and decide to roll up sleeves and get involved with that. So it's an evolving Post as much as it is, yes, we have our mission, I have our goals, but as far as where we take this, it's kind of what the members feel that should go that
definitely.
So.
And we're growing. We are growing, and we're doing. Like Max said, we're busy. We're doing bigger and better things every single day.
Yeah.
And
well, it's nice to see because I've lived
absolutely.
in Roswell, almost 25 years now. 2000 when I moved here, and ebbs and flows over that time. But I've definitely noticed the VFW presence is growing and getting back. I know it kind of went on high. I mean, we can talk history all day, but things happened and it kind of died out here. Same with American Legion. It all kind of died. And now both are really thriving again here in Roswell. And it's good for and growing and more room to grow, obviously. But
definitely.
But we're definitely, there's the foothold again.
Yeah.
There's people say, is there a veteran presence in Roswell? Yes, there is. And there's been times where you're like, yeah, there used to be these, but I don't know if. And now it's like, no, we got the VFWs here, we got American Legion here, we got the Chaves County veterans over here. We got we've got resources. So,
absolutely.
So that's a good thing. And so please get involved, come out. I guess best thing is maybe come out to the nursing home on Saturday here if you'd like to see what they're in action, and do that. And then of course we come out to the next meeting here, which will be in a couple weeks. That like I said, that last Thursday in May here at Grace Community Church. So come see what the VFW is doing. Be a part of it here. Are you guys going to be any other things we want to put on people's radar between now and the next meeting?
The biggest event is our golf tournament coming up in a couple weeks. Okay. May 17th and 18th. It's bigger and better this year than last year. I mean, we got. And
this is your main fundraiser for the VFW 12184 local post here. I know last year you guys partner with yes, it's a fundraiser for our local VFW, but you also partner with other organizations that do service. And like last year, and I apologize, the name went off the head.
We supported Healing America's Heroes,
which was a great organization that helps veterans and people with PTSD.
Yeah,
and they use through horsemanship and fishing, and they usually they kind of help them go through their PTSD and kind of help them. Yeah. That's what they do it through fishing and horseback riding and all this kind of stuff. So up in Ruidoso, it's a great organization. So I'm guessing this year we got someone equally as awesome.
This year we're partnering up. Some of the proceeds are going towards the New Mexico VFW Foundation.
Excellent.
Which they give out grants and stuff to veterans in need, and stuff like that. And they do.
They're kind of the charity side of the VFW.
Yeah.
If a veteran needs work on their home or medical expenses covered or things like ancillary expenses, this is the people that turn to help those families.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the money will go towards that.
Part of the money will, and part of the money is going towards for us.
Sure.
A post home for us.
Well, like we said earlier, your Grace Community Church is awesome.
Yeah,
and they're amazing hosts. But you want your own place where you can lay your welcome mat at home at night.
Yeah, exactly.
And, put your shoes on.
And we do need our own place. Like you guys just touched on. It's that feeling welcome, feeling like you have a place to belong.
Yeah.
And
safe space for the
safe space.
Guys.
Well, plus it allows you guys to do more, and it helps take the post in the direction that you want it. When you've got a home, and it's like, okay, now we got a home. What are we going to do with this home? Are we going to make it more of a social thing? Or are we going to use it as a jump off point for other service passion projects? Or is it going to be a little bit of both of that? Where is it, do we need more bar and meeting space and fun, or do we need more storage for supplies and things to help
and
out?
It'll be a place, whenever a veteran walks in, they can say, this is my building. This belongs to me.
Sure.
Is the whole goal behind that.
Yeah.
Right now, like I said, Grace Community Church, they're wonderful. They're amazing. They've been nothing but helpful to us. They've been amazing. And
but you don't want to go in there and tear up everything and create your, it's a church at the end of the day, and they do, that's their business.
I can't walk in and say, this is mine.
Sure.
This is Max. It's,
Well, the biggest thing is you got veterans that like you mentioned earlier, in the mental health side of it, they need a place to go and talk to somebody. And if you don't have a place where you're,
and they may not trust anybody else but people that have done things that they've done before. That's the thing that we try to tell, especially in the mental health world, veterans don't listen to people sometimes. And until you can prove that you are worthy of understanding what's going on in their head, they're not going to talk to you. Yeah. It's just a veteran thing. I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but the way veterans are, the way their life, the way they're trained, the way they're brought up, the way they're friends, it creates a certain, military people are the most regimented people, even when they don't want to admit it. They'll try to say some of them are free spirit and everything, but look at them. Next thing you know, always carrying stuff in their left hand. And then there's just little things you always know, and you're like, veteranized. You just know. Yep. And love it, hate it, or not, veterans need that. That's how they function. That's what makes sense to them. And if you don't get that, you'll never get that.
I still walk with my hands full. That's how I walk right here.
Yeah, it makes sense to us.
Yep.
And until you've walked in that, it's hard to understand. And so when they are already not trusting everything and they're dealing with the mental health side and things seem at extremes in their head, sometime a guy like us that can sit them down and all right, suck it up. Suck it up, soldiers. Suck it up, airmen. Let's talk here. What's going on? That only us can crack that armor sometimes. And so, please, help us to help those folks. Let the veterans get. And I would also offer the same thing for all our great the Gonzalez Center. We do have great civilian organizations, for lack of a better term here, trying to help mental health, homeless coalition are all great. But please, when it comes to our vets, don't forget to tap into our VFWs because you guys may be experts with homeless. We're a little bit more knowledgeable when dealing with veterans.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just know. There are people. Please. And if that's your reason to get involved, if you say, you know what, I want to join the VFW because I want to do that stuff. The fun camaraderie stuff's cool, but I want to make a difference and help some vets. Then guess what? Welcome aboard. Come on in. We would love, and guess what? We might even have some leadership positions because you're the type of people we need to be helping steer the direction of this post for the future.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities out there.
Yeah, this is, if you're looking for service and you're a veteran and you're like, I want to get in service and I want to get involved, but I want to get into a place where people, and I'm telling you, VFW, American Legion, all the above, hit them all. Come visit and come spend some time with the folks. Most of us are pretty good people.
For the most part. I'm tolerated.
There's always a bad apple here and there, just like anything else, But no, I'm kidding. We're it really is. It's very welcoming, and we love, and of course when we get kind of our veteran times of the year where we're more veteran-centric. Obviously Memorial Day is around the corner here. That's where people pay more attention to veterans. Veterans Day, obviously. Right. That's something too. We do our Veterans Day parade here annually in the city of Roswell, and that's a partnership with VFW, with American Legion, our veteran, and the public. We always encourage and say, if you want to be a part of this, you have never had to sign up an Uncle Sam to do this. We'd love to have you be a part of this if you want to help. But that's, it's all hands on deck. It's a community thing, and the VFW and our other veteran organizations are very much the fabric of the community. And please think of it as such. Like if you're an organization or something and you have a need or something and you're thinking, you know what, our VFW fellows might be able to help out there. Please reach out. reach out and say, because like you guys are always looking, you're looking to grow and to create a solid foundation for this post. But at the same time, you're looking for your passions. You're looking for your niches. You're looking for the places of need in our community. And it takes the community to help us pinpoint that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Good deal. I know I got windbagged and talking all there, but I really do want to give it a top opportunity here to talk about the golf tournament, because this is the big one. This, like we said, the fundraising for this year, it's going towards our helping our VFW friends in need and help out there. But let's get the ancillary details, the date, times, all the fun side of this golf tournament here.
Yeah, it's bigger and better this year. We're going to do two days again this year that we did last year, but it's on 2 different courses. We're going to do Spring River on Friday, May 17th, and 2-person best ball.
So add a little challenge, Now you don't get to play the same game you played yesterday. Now you have to adjust your strategy according to the course.
Yeah,
makes sense.
And then Friday night after that round, we're going to do our dinner. Or a little reception.
Veterans always eat good, by the way.
Oh, Texas Roadhouse is catering this event.
and they're but
what is it? Ribeyes and chicken.
Right? Ribeyes and chicken.
Ribeyes and chicken.
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse.
Military, and even if the food was bad to begin with, military has a way to make it palatable.
I don't know. I've had some things that I don't know.
I have. I mean, in the field in a bag, but I've seen people polish those turds to where they're a little bit better.
Man.
I'm not saying it's 4-star and I want this every day, but you're like, all right, I can stomach that now.
As long as you got some hot sauce, you can make it happen.
Right, yeah. That's why there's always a little, I think every veteran's got the little bottle of hot sauce stored somewhere. And something.
After we talk about the golf tournament, remind me, and I'll tell you about egg cake.
Okay.
Mac knows about egg cake. I told after we talk about the tournament.
Can we get some at the tournament?
Absolutely not. I'll tell you about egg cake later. Remind me, and I'll tell you about it. It's funny.
But back to the golf tournament. Friday night, we're going to have Texas Roadhouse is going to do the dinner. We got
steaks.
Oh, that's going to be good. Then we got silent auction, live auction. We'll have some raffles going on, and then we'll have some live entertainment at the end of the night too from Matthew Palmer and the Mammoth Colts.
Oh, they're amazing. Matthew Palmer and his band, they're great, great musicians.
Yeah.
And especially like his niche is kind of classic rock, that little country, little bluesy, little. He's got think of that, but he's amazing musician.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, we'll kick it off again for the second day of the tournament, a 4-person scramble at Nemi.
Excellent.
And then, that'll wrap up the weekend. But
I guess shotgun starts and all that.
Yeah.
I know all the details, but I know enough. I know some of the buzzwords for golfing. I'm not much of a golfer, but I love it in spirit. I have zero ability.
Well, you'll fit right in there. Come on out.
I'm dangerous. I think we talked about that before. I got the shank that goes.
Yep. That's why I don't golf at Nemi. All the houses and the windows that I don't want to pay for.
I need to go below the equation to line it up right. But go ahead. I'm sorry, back.
Yeah, we're still looking for sponsors. We got sponsorships for anything.
T-box to hole sponsors and all that stuff. And
there's no. Every budget can fit in there and get your name on, as a supporter out there.
Absolutely, and like you said, the money's going back to veterans here. Whether it's going to the VFW Post to help towards its new home, or going back to the VFW organization that helps families with needs and things like that. Either way, that money's going to benefit veterans, every dime of it, in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So if you want to come and sponsor, or be a corporate sponsor, be gold, platinum, whatever the higher level sponsorships are available here. I think ours have more military.
We went
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor is our top level, and we're doing something I don't see it any other term. We're giving away an AR-15 for the top level sponsorship.
That's that. To be honest,
it's engraved.
Yeah. If they want it engraved, we'll engrave it too for free.
Yeah. So
and then we got the same thing for bronze.
But does that make it more of a showpiece, or?
I would. I mean,
because like once you engrave things, I'm like, I shouldn't be shooting it. It should be on a wall somewhere. You know what I mean?
Well, we're giving them the option. If they want to engrave.
But it is functioning if you need to light something up, or go hunting, or something else, or do what you got to do.
and our bronze level, we're giving out custom engraved knives too. So
nice.
it's it's
beautiful stuff.
Trying to do some good stuff
Keepsake
this year.
collector stuff.
Yeah,
stuff you might want to maybe pass down to a family.
Yeah.
And we're looking for teams still, right?
Yeah, and we're
You know,
still
looking
taking
for
individual teams, and also we're selling individual dinner tickets. We have some extra dinner tickets, so
Okay, so maybe you're not a golfer, but you want to support. So you can come out and have some steak and chew the bowl with some veterans at.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff for auctioning off. So come out there. And,
get bid on those silent auction items, and of course, if you'd like to donate. Like if you're a business or an organization that wants to donate a trip or an experience or your services or memorabilia,
absolutely.
That kind of, all of it is good for these silent auction things. Or if you want to create a theme, like I see a lot of people we got a barbecue theme and then a grilling set and everything. You want to put something together like that for the VFW. Love to have that. That would be very appreciable. Or what's one that's actually quite popular, and it's not as flashy to look at, but it's very popular. Somebody will go and just buy gift cards from various businesses around town.
That's some of that stuff.
And then there's a basket of about 10 different gift cards. And like, it's not a trip or it doesn't look flashy, but dang, I will use every single one of these.
$200 worth of gift cards.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very popular. So don't think it does just because it doesn't look flashy or doesn't mean it'll be useful. Those I've been to enough silent auctions. Those things go quick. So,
we got a lot of gift baskets out there this year.
Absolutely, experiences or. Like a lot of teams, I see like wine bundles or liquor bundles and things, or maybe themed to like a movie. It's like, hey, we themed it to Yellowstone, and here's the movies, and here's some Yellowstone booze, and if you want to put together something like that to help out, awesome, thank you, that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But you got to do it quick because we're a couple weeks out here.
So we need sponsors, teams, auction items.
Is there a drop dead deadline to get this information to? Because I imagine at some point you got to cut it off
for sponsors. So we can do signs and recognize them really about 10 days out. I mean, we're coming like next week.
So your vendors are working with you to go as last minute as possible here. Which thank you for that. So, I know it's hard for you guys to do that, especially when it comes to food prep and numbers, and you're trying to get enough steaks and things. That can be a tricky thing. So big thank you to Texas Roadhouse and all the sponsors.
Texas Roadhouse is amazing.
They've been awesome. We met with them last night to go over the stuff and our prediction numbers. But they're working with us. So if we get a late surge of people that want it, they can accommodate.
They've accounted for that. Now make it easy and get it turned in now and stuff. But if you do space,
you can sign up at the golf course. Either the golf courses,
either pro shop because like I said, you're going to be golfing at both between.
You can sign up and pay there, or you can go online and pay, or you can call one of us.
Okay, and then generally how it works, and if this is different, tell me. If you have a team of 4 already, you can sign up as a team. But if you don't have 3 other people to play with. The pros at each shop that they put together teams, you can sign up as an individual, and based on your handicaps and things, they'll try to make some friends.
Yeah.
You make some new friends. You get to
there's been a couple that call like we only have 2. I only have 2 players, so we're trying to get the other 2 players. So
So the pros they go and they'll kind of
they'll find you,
but they kind of try to do some parity here. It's like, oh, how good a golfer are you? All right, well they're going to pair you, by your handicap and stuff. That way they don't sandbag you with a guy that can't hit a barn with an elephant.
Somebody like me.
Someone like me. Yeah, me and Jason. They don't put us on the same team, unless they put like I don't know, Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, geez.
That is our partners. I don't know.
Just let Jason drive the cart.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'll drive the cart and carry the beer.
Now, will the cart be intact by the end of the trip? Or
Probably not.
Will it catch air
it
3
depends.
times? It's like you can jump moguls out here.
Yeah,
you can jump a sand trap with a golf cart. I've done it. He's like, I'll prove it. Hold on.
Let me show y'all something.
Yeah. Hold my beer is a very popular term in the military.
And on golf courses.
Exactly. But definitely get signed up here. Again, go to either pro shop to sign up to play on a team. I imagine reach out directly to our VFW here if you want to be a sponsor or in any way, shape, or form, or have questions relating to that kind of stuff, or if you want to donate silent auction items or have any questions about that, just reach out. Which there's multiple ways to do it. If you're a Facebook user, VFW Post 12184 has a Facebook page. Type in VFW 12184 VFW Roswell. It should pop right up. You have your website as well.
You can drop a message on the website too.
Okay.
It'll come straight to me.
Wait, give out the web address. I don't have that off the top of my head.
It's VFW12184.org.
Very good. Should be easy to remember. If you know the VFW, the number, then it's pretty good to go there. Of course, we'll give you numbers here for Mac and Jason before we go if you want to call. I know a lot of people like to do it on the phone or in person, so we can do that too. But like if you just want to sign up as a golfer, technically you could just go to either the NIMI Pro Shop or the Spring River Pro Shop and talk to the pros there, and they'll get you signed up, set up, and good to go. But if you'd like to get more involved in the other fundraising side, get all that, or if you want to even learn more about what the VFW does and what the charity does, just you say, well, yeah, let me see what they do with that. Talk to these guys here, and they'll be happy to kind of give you a little bit of report on how all this works.
Yeah, or come by my store, and the front end of my store is all dedicated for veteran stuff, the whole front end, so they can get information, activities in the community.
Good. Give out your address.
1005 West McGaffey. It's right behind Domino's Pizza there on Union. Yeah. In the same building as McKee State
Farm. You smell
Farm.
pizza, you're close.
Yeah.
If you smell something else, you might have gone too far.
McGaffey does kind of do that. Offers you a whole array of smells.
Which waft are you part of? Which block of wafts are you? But yeah, and then come on out and have some fun golf, and then join us the next meeting. Like, so it'll be this last Thursday of the month, which I'm trying to
I think that's the 30th.
The 30th.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. The 3rd of May here. So come on out. It'll be what time do you guys meet? 6?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. at Grace
Church on the east side of the building.
Yeah, just follow the cars and follow the guys that look like veterans.
You'll see my pickup part.
Yeah, you'll see the pickups with the stickers and the magnets and everything.
No, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap on that one. Okay. I've seen them all. I've seen magnets, stickers, wraps. They kind of go. And if you want to learn more about VFW, come in. And we're just saying, we're always looking for new veterans to come be a part of it.
And we're also creating an auxiliary.
Excellent.
Anybody interested in joining the auxiliary, and to be an auxiliary member, you just need to be a
spouse of a veteran, I guess.
Spouse, mother, father, son, daughter.
Immediate family, I guess.
Pretty much immediate family. 16 years or older.
Okay.
And
even step parents, stepsons, and adopted.
Yeah, that
as well. Well, yeah. I mean,
it all is the same.
That's family.
Yep.
It's legal and physical with adoption.
Yeah.
You know?
And
that's part of it too. That's service and everything as well. Obviously, it's its own entity and has its own meetings and own funds and agenda and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it parents and partners with the actual VFW.
The goal of the auxiliary is to support the VFW.
Yeah.
So
so activities are as a family, not the auxiliary,
exactly.
not the VFW post.
That's the great part about it. I mean, if the spouse, they can participate with their other spouse in the event. So,
and plus when you have like your, I'm not say fancy shindigs because that's not the right word, but more where people expect a little bit nicer things at an event. Sometimes you need the auxiliary to remind us. It's like, people like
oh, they're the
actual dinner plates. Yeah, they like
definitely.
Because we're all like, you just need a knife, right, to cut the meat. What else do you
Stab
need?
it.
Like, no, people like glasses and stuff and napkins and a centerpiece. A centerpiece
You
for
know,
what? What are you talking about? The auxiliary kind of reminds us of that sometimes.
And when you think about it, for every one veteran, there's got to be at least 3 or 4 people eligible to join the auxiliary.
Absolutely.
So in theory, the auxiliary should be 2 or 3 times the size of a post.
And much like in real life, when a veteran or a military member's in the military, the family's in the military.
Yep.
Too.
They
That's
serve
just how it is.
Yep.
And much like in life in the military, the VFW and auxiliary work the same way. Yeah. I guess you could say the members of the VFW, but the family in the auxiliary is in it just as much. And had it not been for them, the person in the VFW, the veteran, would not be where they're.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's similar to the family readiness group on the active side, or
to be honest, they got the harder gigs sometimes. The people at home with the 1-2 stars sitting on their front porch, that's a harder struggle than the veteran sometimes. At least the veteran, you're like, I feel like I'm semi in control of what I'm doing. They're just waiting for a phone call. That's or a telegram or a visit. And, that don't play with your head right.
Yeah. Well, if the phone rings, that's good. It's when they see.
Yeah, usually, but there's a knock on the door.
See a black car parked in front of your house with a chaplain and a captain. Then
that's never good.
That's never good.
So, I mean, you all seen the movies. That's
yep
how it works. But excellent. Do we get it all? Is there anything we missed? We wanted to cover?
Just one last thing on the auxiliary. Same thing. Come by my shop. Applications there. You can come fill them out there. As soon as we need 15 new members to start it, and we got we got a lot of leadership opportunities in there. So that's what we're looking for.
Any people looking to get there, start turning over your leaves and calling your friends and saying, "Hey, come on, you qualify too. Come bring, somebody may have chewed dirt at Kirtland or Fort Bliss or some of our other local or more local military establishments.
Another way to serve the community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank you.
it. We'll
Appreciate
see
it.
you here next time and get signed up for this golf tournament. Get out there. And, of course, come out on Saturday if you want to be a part of the day of service. You guys are going to be meeting again what time?
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
At Casa Maria.
Casa Maria. That's the
I
plan
don't know
right now.
if they'll let anybody else in, though.
Okay.
They want us to show our
I got
VFW
you.
cards. We got,
But at
in the
least
future, though, you can.
Okay, but if you want to come and talk, at least maybe
Yeah.
we'll talk in the parking lot
Sure.
before if they don't let you guys in. But if you want to learn more, get more involved, you'll find some veterans there. So good deal.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, 9:58. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Challenging times for a tech giant. Apple reports sales of its flagship iPhone dropped sharply in the first quarter of the year compared to 12 months ago.
Apple's single biggest business, the iPhone, isn't expanding as quickly as it did. Compared to this time last year, iPhone sales fell 10%, even as the global market expanded. Apple also faces challenges in its third biggest market, China. There, the iPhone faces fierce competition from homegrown rival Huawei. With investors wondering where Apple's future growth will come from, the tech giant's chief executive, Tim Cook, has promised to unveil new generative AI innovations in the future.
The BBC's Michelle Fleury. Denmark's government says it's relaxing its restrictions on abortion for the first time in 50 years and make it legal for women to terminate pregnancies up to the 18th week from the previous 12 weeks. News and analysis at townhall.com. An update on the lawsuit brought by some former detainees. They had been held at a notorious prison in Iraq.
A federal judge has declared a mistrial after a jury in Alexandria, Virginia, said it was deadlocked and could not reach a verdict in the trial of a military contractor accused of contributing to the abuse of detainees at the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq 2 decades ago. The mistrial came in the jury's 8th day of deliberations. Judge Leonie Brinkema said what happened in the case was absolutely appalling. Virginia-based CACI had argued that it wasn't complicit in the detainees' abuse, that any liability for their mistreatment belonged to the government, not CACI. The plaintiffs can seek a retrial. I'm Norman Hall.
Maui County, Hawaii, suing major cell carriers for failing to properly inform police of widespread outages during last summer's deadly wildfire. The outage prevented warnings from getting through to residents. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We made it.
Yeah, we did.
Congratulations. It's all downhill.
I mean, not wrong. All the worst decisions get made on the weekends.
Yes.
On those S days.
You know, I was just a few minutes ago, I was on the internet doing my social media
That's what
perusing as one does, just keeping tabs on things.
Mhm.
And you know how you get on Facebook and you see these like, 20 things that people do. You know those things.
These giant lists.
Yeah, and so one I was scrolling through, and this one was, foods that we wish boomers would stop eating or stop doing or something. And I was like, all right, I gotta see what's going on. So I clicked it, and I started looking at the list. I'm like, really? They don't like anything. Like it was okay, a couple of them you're like, all right, but they're literally poo-pooing on everything from plain toast. It's like, stop making plain toast.
Why?
Because that's a boomer thing. But then they're like buffets, TV dinners, and pretty much every food, and I'm like, what is this, a 12-year-old kid? I think your daughter made that list.
Right? Probably. You're not wrong.
And it just, but then I was like, all right, I can't be the only one think this is ridiculous, right? So I read the comments, and they did not disappoint.
Nice.
Every old man screaming in the ether was on there saying some of the funniest things.
There's nothing wrong with plain toast. It keeps my constitutions in order.
One that made me laugh was mayonnaise-based salads.
Come on. I like a good pasta salad.
But I'm my potato salad, I'm a mayonnaise over mustard guy.
Miracle Whip is literally called salad dressing. That's what it's supposed to do.
It is. Now, in all fairness, I do like Miracle Whip, and it's in my house because my wife is, and so I do use it quite a bit.
I like it.
However, I'm a mayo guy.
I like it to an extent, but I am very much a mayo guy.
Yeah.
Now, let me rephrase that. I'm a mustard tiger. I'm a mustard guy first and foremost. But given my druthers between Miracle Whip and mayo,
I like
mayo every
mustard,
time.
but I steer clear on sandwiches for mustard.
Really?
Mustard is my hot dog jam.
Okay.
I always go mustard on hot dogs.
People who put ketchup on hot dogs are bizarre.
I will throw ketchup sometimes too, just because I put everything in the party. That's me. But mustard, but if someone said, here's a plain hot dog, I put mustard, and usually that's it, unless there's like onions or relish. I don't put ketchup on it. Now, if they're like, here's a dog with ketchup relish, I'm like, all right, fine, I'll eat it, no biggie.
I like anything vinegar based.
Yeah.
I'm in. So like your mustard, your vinaigrettes.
I just like it in certain areas, like pretzel dipping, cheese and mustard. My two jams. I do it every time. I generally, and now don't get me wrong, once in a while I'll have mustard on a sandwich, but generally I don't put mustard on sandwiches. I reserve for hot dogs and things like that, or dippings. I love to dip chicken, like chicken fingers and stuff in a mustard usually.
See, now when you're going sandwich, I like a fancy mustard. I like a nice, maybe like a Dijon, like a honey Dijon, something with you know what I really like?
I will put like a burger. I like mustard on a burger.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer mayonnaise, but I usually do both.
Burger, I absolutely prefer mustard, and that's why the Whataburger is my go-to, because their standard basic order Whataburger comes with mustard.
Yeah, I only time I'll get the mustard. Like if you go to like Sonic, I'll get the mayonnaise versions.
I'm dying to do it, but they'll if you ask them, if you go to In-N-Out and you ask them to, they'll do it. They'll cook your burgers in mustard.
Oh, okay.
They're I think it's like mustard style.
Is it one of because I know they had the whole secret, animal style, but I know there's other styles besides that you can do.
But they they put mustard on the burger, mustard on the grill, and then fry it in that, and that like caramelizes into the burger.
See, I've only had In-N-Out one time in my life.
Yeah,
and I knew enough to ask animal style, and I did, and I loved it. It was tasty. I will eat one any day and twice on Sundays. But in the big debate, I'm Team Five Guys.
Really?
Over In-N-Out.
Now, see, of all of them, I've never had Five Guys.
Five Guys.
I've yet to. I'm hoping
you need
to have
to go to Albuquerque or Lubbock.
There's one in Cruces. I'm hoping to actually visit soon. But beyond that, of what I've had, my favorite go-to is Whataburger every time.
Oh, you see, now peel back the curtain. I don't put Whataburger like if I can get it easily, I don't put it in the same to me, Whataburger's in the same place as Wendy's, McDonald's, all the fare up.
The lower tier.
And I wouldn't say lower. Yeah, maybe because places and lower tiers of misnomer. Because here's the deal:
it's everywhere.
When you go to In-N-Out and when you go to Five Guys, you're going to pay a little bit more.
Sure.
You're going to get it's fast food, but it's a different. It's not like like they're not designed like I know the place is called In-N-Out, but it's really more of an experience than just going to McDonald's or Whataburger or Wendy's or something like that. It's to me now. Granted, someone that probably has one sitting in their neighborhood all the time probably feels differently than I do. But I look at like certain types, like that smash burger, In-N-Out, you know, Five Guys.
Yeah, if you're talking about like a Shake Shack.
Yeah,
places
they're
like this.
they're a different level than your.
Which I will give you, but also it's one of those. Those are the kinds those are excursion burgers. Like I have to
Fuddruckers.
I have to take a road trip to get to it.
Yes, but that's to me that's always been the case for In-N-Out, Five Guys, because I grew up in D.C., but Five Guys wasn't a thing till after I left.
Right,
it didn't pop up till after I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what, scary part is for me, I've been in New Mexico. You know, it's about 50-50.
Oh, it's 50-50.
Well, I'm 51.
50-50.
I moved. Well, I guess that because I always forget my military days. So technically, I moved to New Mexico in 97.
This is why I consider myself native adjacent, because I moved here when I was 11.
Yeah.
And I've lived in New Mexico ever since.
Yeah.
Whether it's here or Albuquerque. So most of my life has been spent in New Mexico.
So because I technically left the D.C. area when I was 23 years old, and haven't lived there since.
Hadn't looked back. I looked back a couple of times.
Been back, lived back. I just haven't lived there.
By the way, next hour, if you could have my my bottom third say co-host / native son.
Native son. Carry on, my native son.
Native son. DJ period adjacent.
Oh man. I real quick, and then we'll move on because I don't know. I just want to share this. I watched it yesterday, and I think it's pretty cool. And I think, and I don't think people that would like this would go watch it unless I tell you to go watch it.
Okay.
On Hulu, they always have if you love the History Channel, the men who built America, the foods that built America, the things that built America. They got about 70,000 different versions of those shows on Hulu.
Right.
They're all History Channel shows. Well, one of them there is it's like the companies that built America, and it's talking about tentpole companies like Procter & Gamble, FedEx, you know, things like that. Well, there is one episode, and I think it's like the third of the series, that is on Spalding and Wilson and all of your sports stuff.
Really?
And if you're a sports nut, you will like it. Because at first it starts off with Spalding. Spalding was a pitcher in the 1800s, in the 1890s, 70s. He was a pitcher. And he's one of the... And so, you know, he in college he's pitched and everything else. Baseball was way different than what you think. This was still, there wasn't the major leagues. There wasn't any of that stuff yet. It was literally college ball and, you know, grassroots, you know, pickup games and things like that. And Spalding, you know, as a pitcher, he was like, well, first off, the pitchers generally brought their own baseballs to play with, and they all made them. And the problem was none of the baseballs were consistent. Like you could, you know, the ball, one could be heavier, one could be just based on the pitcher and how he liked it, you know, kind of thing. It was made from different materials, sewn a different way. And Spalding was like,
so he basically set up the universal standard.
Yeah, and once the baseball got bigger, and they were like, hey, we need to make this where we want teams in like Major League Baseball. Well, they needed standards. It's like, well, we gotta have a baseball. It's the same. We gotta have. But then, so he designed a baseball. It's the same, and everyone loved the baseball. Problem with, they didn't play with baseball gloves back then.
Oh, it was all barehanded?
And yes.
Oh, wow.
And so these baseballs were hurting.
Sure.
And they were getting people knocked out and everything else. And some, you know, they were saying, well, wear a glove. And when they say a glove, they weren't thinking like the baseball glove if you think of today is a glove. But people didn't want to embrace that because you're soft, you're weak. Yeah, real men play
Leatherheads.
Yeah,
all that fun
stuff.
stuff.
So the glove, you know, people didn't do it until Spalding said, you know what? And to get this here, Spalding was a great baseball player. On top of the fact that he did, so he was kind of like the Babe Ruth of the time there, a little bit as far as well-known baseball players. He had a reputation. So he's decided, you know, I'm going to design a glove to wear it, but I'll wear it, and hopefully, if I wear it, it'll on.
Right.
And his first glove was literally he cut like an old leather fingerless, cut it out, and made a glove on, and it was a glove, and he started wearing it, and people said, "Oh, it's acceptable." So other players started wearing it, and then the glove evolved to more things, and then Rawlings came in, a company called Rawlings, and they're the ones that invented putting the webbing between.
Really?
And so the gloves of Spalding there was no webbing; it was just fingers in the big
to create the full
thing.
net that we know today was Rawlings.
And because of these advancements, the game has completely changed on how it's done and all that.
Every time I heard you say Spalding, all I could think was Caddyshack.
But then they go to Spalding,
got the ball.
and then after that, basketball. The guy, the Naismith guy, he came to Spalding and said, "I need a ball, make me a ball." And so him and those two together designed what you know as the current NBA modern basketball.
Right, because I knew it was played with basically like a converted soccer ball into fruit baskets. That's the
soccer ball,
game.
not soccer.
Yeah.
Football wasn't a thing yet.
No, that's why I said football. I was saying the soccer ball.
Yeah, it was come from the soccer, but the problem with soccer balls
right, the radio can't hear my quotey fingers.
Yeah, the soccer ball didn't bounce like a basketball.
Yeah.
And all that. But Spalding is like, and so he got the ball to bounce, but then the leathers and stuff, it's slippery. You can't catch it, you can't pass it. So the whole thing on the little bumps on a basketball,
the dimples.
They talk about how that was invented just for that reason and all that stuff. It's pretty fascinating.
Checking
if
into
you're a sports guy, check it out.
Checking into the chat, I honestly they also did one on NFL and NASCAR. So you curious, check those.
But then
out.
they go into football after that. And they talk about how the football's evolved and all that. So if you love that kind of stuff, that's a sports guy and not into history. That one you're gonna like.
See, but I'm not a sports guy. I'm more of a sports science guy. I feel like that's exactly where the beauty of this is, because you start kind of fleshing out what sports science is.
But I love it. But for folks that are baseball, or especially young kids, you want to see why you play the way you play today. Watch that one. It'll give you a little bit of insight.
Right.
Pretty cool, I think. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I know some people are completely bored by things like that, but
I'm fascinated by it.
I kind of dig it.
Well, no, I kind of watch a channel called Baseball Doesn't Exist.
Yeah?
And they do like cool fun facts like that.
Like baseball not existing?
Yeah. Well, no, like it's still like that with baseballs, where not any baseball is made the same.
Yeah.
To this day, like they're all
compared to back then.
Yeah.
It's like the stitching standardized, what the core is standardized, the amount like he figured the amount, because those first balls they had some kind of wound up wool or something, and he figured out exactly how many hundreds of feet you need to roll up and wrap in there to get the ball this way.
That tends to that level
exactly.
of tension.
For a guy without any computers or any assembly line type, he's literally in a basement sewing baseballs and
trial and error.
Yeah.
You know, trying stuff out, throw it against the wall, and see what doesn't stick.
All those products are like that.
Yeah.
You know, everything begats something. You know, like Ivory Soap's another. There's a whole thing on Procter & Gamble about how Ivory Soap's invented. That's pretty good too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Especially, the whole soap floating thing. Because that's Ivory Soap, even to this day, their mantras are soap floats.
Yeah.
You know why that's a thing?
I don't.
You know?
No.
Okay. Well, this was back in the turn of the century.
Well, it's animal fat.
Well, soap products weren't what you know today.
Yeah, they're gross.
Well, it's
made
just
of lye and poisons and
around the 1800s, you just couldn't walk into a store and say, "Here's all these deodorants and soaps and shampoos and everything." There was soap, and it had lye and everything else. And yes, some of it. That's why they didn't bathe every day, because some of that stuff was harmful to their skin and everything else. And then, sanitation was not priority prior to most people that live today. If you lived in the 1800s, you'd be grossed out.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so with the Ivory Soap, basically, they wanted to design a soap that people could use every day, something that's good for the skin that won't tear it up and all that. But, great, we got a soap that does that. Wonderful. Where are people cleaning? They ain't got showers and stuff in their houses and all that. They're going to the creek to wash. So they go and they got their soap and they're spending a couple bucks or whatever it is for soap. It's not, and sure enough, soap falls in the lake, can't get the soap and all that. Ivory figured out when they whip their stuff a little bit longer, it creates a thing and then it floats. Next thing you know, the Ivory soap floats. So you can go to the creek and not lose your soap because it's floating. And that's why.
So crick washing approved.
Yeah, so that's why Ivory soap floats.
Wash your crack in the creek.
That's the reason why it does
that. Was more of a why than a how. But
how it floats is
air bubbles. I mean,
I said they basically took their formula and they whipped it longer.
Yeah,
it was an accident. Basically, the big whatever it is that they were mixing this stuff, they mixed it an hour longer than they meant to by accident, and then they discovered it floated. It made the soap change the properties, and it's the standard. But yeah, that's how it happened, if you want to know. But that's why it does. They found out it floated, and they said, marketing genius. And Ivory soap, that was what got them in the door. Everyone had to have their Ivory soap. It floats. It's the best thing in modern science now.
And that's where they come up with the movie, right? Soap floats. Now I understand.
Oh, I dropped my soap in water.
Yeah. But and then of course they kind of explain how the soap operas happened, and because how they marketed soap and everything else, and the soap opera today is all begatting that thing. So, but anyway,
Craig Birch checking in. Indians made soap from yucca plant roots. You don't want to know how they made their tampons.
I feel like now's the time for the Skeletor meme as they leave.
But yeah,
exactly.
I just know that baseball players still find.
They will
find little imperfections in their baseballs.
Absolutely, but
because they're like you can't make it.
Yeah, but you look at baseballs in 1897 and look at them today, and there's way standardized compared to then. All right, it is 8:22. Let's do this. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to play our interview we had with the folks from Carabelli Dental. Early in the week, they joined us and had great conversations. We're going to play that for you here in just a few. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Let's actually get you up to date with the weather and then take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Sunny and warm today with high pressure overhead for now. We'll be in the upper 80s on this afternoon's high. Looks like mid-50s and clear for the overnight hours, and then a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up for Saturday. We'll stay in the low 80s. Quick cold front moving through. We might get a few showers or thunderstorms. Scattered showers on Saturday night. Then we're back to sunny, warm, and breezy weather on Sunday. Upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton. That's your latest forecast.
You're invited. Car Affair 2024, presented by the Cars Club of Carlsbad. Saturday, June 1st at the beach in Carlsbad. Early registration is Friday with a cruise. Then Saturday, car registration starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 10:30 a.m. Enjoy music, food, car-related swap meet, a 5K run, door prizes, and a special Try 5 Chevys area. To register or for more information, visit carsclubofcarlsbad.com.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. Or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Whether you're a homeowner, a landscaper, or a contractor, we all have reasons to dig. If you're planning to dig, this is just a friendly reminder that locating underground utilities is important. It's actually the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig. New Mexico Gas Company is one of the utilities that will come out free of charge to mark our underground lines up to the meter, so you'll know what's below. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
Join Fiero 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 to 1 at Roswell Ford. It's a Cinco de Mayo celebration, and Roswell Ford is under new management with a whole new attitude, and they're ready to serve you. You'll find a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles and huge discounts across the lot, plus a great team of experts ready to get the deal done today. We'll have street tacos and ice-cold drinks and a celebration of all things Cinco de Mayo. See you Saturday at Roswell Ford, 9th and Main in Roswell with Fiero 106.1 FM.
In southeast New Mexico, our state senator Greg Nibert has a strong conservative record, supporting the right to life, working to protect our conservative values, and standing up for the Second Amendment. That's why he's endorsed by the NRA. Greg Nibert has a record of opposing the liberal progressive Santa Fe agenda. He has consistently stood against illegal immigration, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's harmful progressive agenda, and policies that try to take away our rights and freedoms. He has stood up for us time and time again, especially especially when our rights have been under attack. Greg is a champion for our communities, our values, and our way of life. Greg Nybert has a record that we can count on. He is a strong supporter of our oil and gas jobs, which is so essential to Southeast New Mexico. We need Senator Greg Nybert in Santa Fe. He is a proven, committed conservative and a strong voice for Eastern New Mexico.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from Carabelli Dental, Dr. Keon Agar back with us. And Maria, did I get it right?
Yes, you got it.
All right, good. Joining us as well. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
I like the look. I like the ball. It looks. I don't have a head for it. I don't think I like feel my head. I like go and feel it, and I'm like, I feel like there's lumps or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I got lumps. Oh, there's some lumps.
It's a
all
very
over
nice
that bad
head.
boy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Dude, it looks good. Yeah.
I spent time in the military, so I did have a bit of a precursor. I knew what was going on there.
You knew where
and
you
I've
were
lost
going.
a bet or two, so I've had to shave my head before. So.
It looks good though. Not everybody can pull it off.
Well, thank you.
Like I think me and Sean would look weird.
I don't know. I
Maybe
think you could do it.
I don't know.
But look in here.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think
I would look weird for a while. It would take a while.
It takes something to get used to.
But it looks very like with the beard and everything. It looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it looks good.
You're manly, is that what you said?
It looks very manly. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look very feminine. I mean,
I do feel manner.
Yeah,
more manly. Yeah,
you look like more like a man.
See, his voice even changed.
That's right.
Yeah, I noticed that like your voice has gone a little bit.
Has it?
Yeah. Ever since the heroin, the voice dropped.
How you doing? I'll be Chuck Norris in a week.
Welcome to the Mike Winter Show.
Very white here.
Yeah. Or that just must be allergies. Maybe that's just allergies.
Could be.
Some people get lucky, like their voice drops during allergies. I usually get the other way around. I get like more nasally.
Yeah.
I get you get the sexy allergy voice, and
there
I get
the
it doesn't work out.
Well, I'm just glad I had a voice there at the beginning of the year. I got sick, and I was out of a voice for weeks. And it sounded like hot garbage, but I'm finally
hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
There we go.
Bad.
Oh no,
that's every dumpster in Roswell.
I felt bad for people who had to listen to the show for that month because I'm like, I'm sorry, I sound like.
Well, the content's good. It's okay.
Well,
they can get past the voice.
That was not even worth getting through that. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not that funny. I can get you through this. So, but anyway, it's back as normal as it's going to be. So. Of course, for folks not familiar, Carabelli Dental, which is right down, just actually about 4 or 5 blocks that way.
Yes.
On Main
that
Street.
way. If anybody knows, he's pointing in the left direction.
That's right.
Which is his right,
north.
my left.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Put it this way: go to the convention center. He's right next door.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or go to the convention center and then act like you're trying to go to Sonic.
That's right.
And you can't get there because there's a dental office in the way.
Matter of factly, there's probably been a few Sonic customers that may have bumped into your fencing and things as they went too far forward in the drive-through there.
It's true. There has happened in the past, but we are.
So now the fence is gone.
Yeah, the fence is now gone.
I've noticed as I pull in there from time to time.
It's actually kind of nice.
The fence is kind of beaten up.
It
now
was
it's gone.
bad.
Yeah.
The fence was looking pretty bad. It wasn't our fence, so we couldn't really we'd go and fix it, and it was just kind of awkward. Like it was like I had to do it like in the middle of the night when no one was watching. I had to go. It was kind of
covert.
It's the opposite of how I do yard jobs around the house. Like if my wife isn't my mom. My wife's now home. It's not happening. Right. But as soon as she's home, I'm like, I have to make it look like I'm working.
I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm really
I've
busy.
been slaving, working my butt off all morning.
He's all drenched with water.
Right before she walks in, like drenched with water. She's like, 31 degrees outside.
Like,
why are you sweating?
Right. And she's like, how come nothing got done? You're literally just starting.
Why
the
are you
first
sweating
project
already?
you're doing when I left.
Are you having a heart attack?
What's going on here?
Yeah, that's another story. But anyway, Carabelli Dental.
Yes.
Here downtown. Of course, you guys have gone really since COVID. Just with the technology in that building. I know last time we talked, like during that COVID, you guys did a major overhaul of the ventilation and the system in there, and kind of making it more like medical grade style, like what you get in hospitals and things like that. You're now experiencing at the dental office.
Yes.
So.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't feel like a hospital. We try to still make it.
No,
fun.
no, it's
which
still
is where
warm
Minnie
and
comes in. Minnie is like our she's She's the happy face.
Sure.
She makes everybody feel good.
Except for Mondays.
Well, no, Mondays she's
because we're closed.
Yeah,
No.
Mondays. Yeah, Mondays her. Yeah, she charges up for the week of happiness. She's over there
Charging right now.
And speaking of medical stuff, we try to move ourselves towards really just always bettering ourselves.
Sure.
You know? And one of the things we looked into recently is there's a lot of patients we run into who they are above age 65 and they usually get dropped from that's kind of a weird system. You get like dropped from your medical insurance, dropped from your dental insurance.
It's a
all this
weird
stuff.
time age.
Yeah, it's like,
area
oh
where
hey, by the way,
goes,
like you have this insurance, and by the way, if you already had insurance, it's gone.
Yeah,
like you don't
at
get
this
to have
point
it
they're
anymore.
retired and probably aren't receiving the benefits from their job anymore,
Right, yeah.
and so they have either retirement insurance or outside insurance.
Right, and so well, a lot of our patients end up with Medicare, and Medicare doesn't really traditionally cover dental things.
They do all the other stuff, but they don't really get into the teeth.
Right, they don't
much.
think teeth are part of the they're not part of life.
Thank God, the medical science is saying, oh wait, the dental medicine is just as much a part of the overall health as everything else. As your eye doctors as well too. They're starting to incorporate more eye stuff into that.
Well, you don't
too.
need to see or eat. You just need to breathe. I think that's what the medical model thinks.
Well, how many other parts or other procedures happen to your body, and or dental procedures that affect other parts of your body? We know that. Like we now know that certain dental surgery can impact heart health, and if you're having heart issues, there's certain things you need to be aware of before you do dental things and stuff like that.
It's exactly it's all tied together, and so and so one of the things that we've started realizing is that there's a large group of people that have insurance that does cover if you have an abscess, if you have an infection, all these things, but it's typically only used
for the general routine stuff.
Right, but that's like so if you have Medicare, for example, that's the one thing. So we started exploring Medicare, and luckily we had Medea with us, and she's been with us for years.
She's the expert with the number crunch.
But she comes from a medical background. She comes from a lot of. She has an amazing. She's awesome. She's like one of my favorite people ever.
Like she's the one you want working on the computer while you're working in the mouth.
Yeah, or I'd let her work on my teeth. Honestly, she's pretty awesome. Like I would trust her.
Okay.
I think she would figure
Just
it out.
remember, brush twice a day.
There you go.
Two minutes.
2 minutes. No, but she comes from a background. Many expertise, but a medical background and medical billing and stuff like that. So we started kind of leaning towards her to say, hey, if someone has an infection in their knee, you can go to an orthopedic surgeon, and the Medicare will cover to remove that infection.
Sure.
Well, what's the difference between an infection in your knee or infection in your tooth? Right. So what we started to realize
To be honest,
is that
the end result can be exactly the same. It could kill you if you
right.
left
Yeah,
unattended.
it's an infection. Why? Just because it's in the mouth. And so we came to realize is like dentistry is not really like equipped to manage medical insurance because it's not something we do all the time. But we actually, luckily, are because we have Medea, who is amazing.
She's
very knowledgeable.
She's the guru that can get you.
I remember when I first talked to her, I was like, oh my gosh, this like, what do you? This I started reading about all this Medicare stuff, and it's just crazy and all this stuff. And she's like, dude, it's what did you say?
It's easy.
Like
We
it's
can do
easy.
it.
You're like, what are you talking about? I was like, it's easy. I'm like, okay, haha, like you're so funny. She's like, no, seriously, it's easier than dental insurance.
Sure.
And I'm like, no way.
It just comes naturally to you.
Yeah,
Straightforward.
yeah, she's like, if you have an infection, your insurance will cover to take care of that infection, which is really cool. So now we're starting to look into how can we use this to start building people's teeth back.
So
also.
folks that are on strictly on the Medicaid now,
Medicare.
I'm sorry, I always botched that.
Yeah, Medicare.
The Medicare now, they can come in and get, take and have the Medicare help pay for all or good hunks of it now.
Yeah.
And you've got, like you said, you've got the resources to help navigate people through that.
Right.
So when it gets confusing or muddy, then let our people. It's kind of
because basically Medicare covers about 80. If you just straight Medicare B,
correct.
yeah, it covers 80% of whatever you need at a hospital. So it's 80%, right? But then a lot of people have the supplementals to cover the rest of it. So now it's not going to cover a cleaning, it's not going to cover a filling or a crown, right? But say you have a lot of infected teeth or a lot, and you have some, you lost some jawbone or whatever. Well, then Medicare says, okay, well, there's atrophy, we've lost bone, that's not good, and there's infections and stuff. So let's pay to reconstruct their jaw and then build it back with teeth, right? So that's kind of what we started looking into is.
Do you think the future will go where they start to include the cleanings and some of the because to me, I mean, in medicine and insurance is always in the preventative world. They always want to
Sure.
pay for the screenings and the tests.
Sure.
And quite frankly, in the dental world, your cleanings and all that, that's the preventative.
Right.
You're there every 6 months doing all this stuff, getting your cleanings and doing that. Odds are you're going to have less issues than someone that doesn't do that.
Sure.
all the
Yeah.
time. That's just
no, 100%.
facts,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean,
Right.
they've done studies of like patients who, people who have diabetes, right?
Mhm.
If you keep them on a really strict, cleaning schedule, they do better with their diabetes. If
Mhm.
they don't go to the dentist and they're not taking care of it, they have gum disease, stuff like that. Their diabetes, literally, their A1C will not be controllable, right? That being said, hopefully no insurance companies are listening, but they're in the they're not in the business of like shelling out money, right?
Mhm.
Their business model is to not shell out money. So
Absolutely.
if you're,
to
if
pay
you're
the
asking-
least amount possible to take care of
'Cause
your
that's,
needs.
That's how they make. That's how they have
Literally
Yeah,
pulling
that's
teeth
literally how,
to
like,
get
yeah,
paid.
That's why there's
yeah.
whole departments of fighting to get paid for things
Right,
that should be paid for that they don't want to pay for.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's why like you can watch like the NBA finals
Yeah.
and
But to me,
it's
just-
sponsored by so and so
Oh,
insurance
yeah.
company.
Yeah.
It's like or this stadium there's a stadium being built right now that's sponsored by a dental insurance company. It's a nonprofit. So it's like but it's fine. That's just is what it is.
Yeah.
And so it's
it
like
does
one of
make
those
it
things-
hard to be. Yeah. I get what
And
you're
ultimately, like my job is not to mess with the insurance as much as just take care of people.
You're just
right?
getting
And so-
people to
right,
take care of their
yeah.
problem. They
And we
come
just,
in,
we
they're
just
two-thirds
basically
wanna
realize,
fix
man,
it.
all these people come in, there's like, I'm on Social Security, I'm on Medicare, I did everything that I was supposed to do, right? I worked my whole life, I paid into Social Security,
But I can't pay for a
retired,
filling.
and then I can't, but I can't pay for. I need a new set of teeth,
Yeah.
and I can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
And so, but weirdly, if they need a new knee, right, Medicare will cover it.
Yeah.
You need a new kidney, Medicare will cover it.
And
They
quite
won't cover
frank-
a new set of
yeah.
teeth, but
And
so
quite
that's what we
frankly-
started looking into.
Guess what? Your mouth is an input for everything.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
And so,
But it's psychologically,
Yeah.
important, right? It's like I have so many patients that we've gone and I'll see their pictures and stuff, and like all their pictures before we get to them, they don't smile. They don't,
Sure.
and then afterwards, it's like
the
every
psychological
picture,
side of
Yeah.
dental medicine. Yeah,
Then-
the fact that they don't feel comfortable in rooms because
Yeah.
they're self-conscious of their mouth.
Right.
Or they didn't grow up in a world where they took them to the dentist every 6 months and stuff. So they're embarrassed
Right.
to go in because, look, I haven't been a dentist in 10 years. And,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, I'm embarrassed about it.
Sure.
And and so you deal with that. And then, by the way, it's like, oh, by the way, you got to finagle a way to pay for this because your insurance doesn't work like it does in every
Yeah.
other medical situation here.
Yeah.
It's all stupid.
Yeah.
What? This is 2024. We should be able to kind of get on the same page. The medicine is there. Where the dental health, all these specialists off the side that don't fall under a hospital per se
Right.
are just as vital in the
Sure.
overall health of a patient, and everything that what you're doing in the dental office greatly impacts your heart health and the other aspects, and just that it's all connected. Your body is a system after system of things. Everything begats the other. If one thing's down here, it's going to impact something somewhere else, and we're just now figuring that one out, I guess.
Finally.
See, Mike's just preaching.
I know. I'm like,
Here we go.
yes.
Mike, yes. Mike.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep it going, man. Keep it going.
It's like we get so tied up in the dollars and everything. It's like, come on, what are we trying to do here, Harry?
Yeah, sometimes
Let's
you just sit
pay
there and you go,
attention.
how did we get here? It's like
Yeah.
it's like if people are or what's important, right? Then it's like this system is not set up for people, right? It's like sometimes I sit there and look at it and I'm like, this whole system is like not set up for a patient.
Mm-hmm.
It's set up for the administrative things and all these things and it's like I think that like if you were to start over completely, it would look different, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we just go with it and have some
I
fun.
almost wonder sometimes if we would get better medicine if we were back in like the old days where the doctor come to your house and knocked on the door
Well-
and you know what I mean, and treated it more like a private, I mean, even. And I don't know. I'm just pipe dreaming here,
No.
but I'm like, I feel like medicine wouldn't be as expensive if it wasn't for the insurance companies getting involved sometimes.
So actually, earlier,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, earlier this year, he's a congressman in Houston, Dan Crenshaw.
Mhm.
Eye patch guy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's like he's a Marine.
Yeah.
He introduced a bill which I thought was really interesting, and it was basically for people with Medicare, Medicaid, and pretty much any insurance for there to be an option. Okay, to be able to do, I think I don't know what the actual term for it, but there's a guy in town, Steve Muir, and Steve Muir's a PA, and it's basically like a like concierge type physician, right? Where it's not like, all right, you take an insurance, and every time you go in this building, it's like, hey, you pay a monthly fee, right, to be seen by this person. They see up to this many people, and basically, like, whenever they need you, right? I mean, I see Steve, and Steve's come to my house for stuff. He literally came to my house when I'm driving by. He's like, I'm gonna be passing your house. I can come check out your kid's ear for an earache. Just drove by. He just came by
love that. I think we should go back to that more.
It's a patient centered model, right? And so. And I thought it was interesting what you just said, though, is he introduced a bill to Congress about opening that as an option, not making it happen, just saying this is an option for billing. Because right now billing is like you have to bill. Medea knows. Okay, someone walks in, it's like you got to bill the exam, and you build you have to do build a glucose test, and you build the blood pressure test.
Everyone's got to get their
like,
taste.
Yeah, and you have to just itemize bill every little thing, and then you have to give it to someone, and then you go, and then Medea goes and fights with the insurance for insurance to pay it, so the patient doesn't have to get a bill, right? And it's like all these things, and it's like all this happened just because someone walked in and said, "Hey, I have an earache."
It's almost the mob, but legal. You just got to grease the right palms to get everything done, and once that happens, it happens.
And you're seeing this giant movement away from primary care and medicine. And we're talking about medicine. What are we talking about? Okay, so I can go on. But primary care and medicine is probably the most. Everybody wants to talk about the specialists and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and they're wildly important, but like the most important piece of that entire the only thing that makes the wheel work is primary care. If you have good primary care that has the support they need, then they make the referrals, and they're the quarterback. But the thing is, we have diminished the value of primary care. We've diminished those guys, and we have amazing primary care doctors.
Sure,
Dr. Pignon, Dr. Martinez, Dr. Arnett. I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, Dr. Vega. We have all these amazing physicians in town, which, if they were ever retire, it would be a disaster because they actually really like. People walk in, and they're the ones like, "Hey, I went in to get a."
But that's a reality. Allergies. Like I'm a doctor. Dr. Pignon's been my doctor the entire time I'm living in Roswell here, which is 20 plus years.
Yeah.
At some point, that man's not going to be doing this anymore.
And now, so you're seeing this, but like I had a patient walk in the other day. It was like I have to have open heart surgery. Yeah. I'm like, what happened? They're like, well, I went to my doctor and I was having allergies, and he listened to my heart and said, do you have, there's something going on with your heart. We're going to send you to the Heart Institute. And sure enough, she's like 28, going to have open heart surgery. And had they not caught it, she didn't know anything was wrong, but it was causing little tiny clots.
Sure.
Little clots.
She probably would have been collapsed on the floor somewhere.
No, she would have, exactly. And then she probably would have made her heart damage.
Could have been a gym or something.
Yeah. She could just, no, it happens. Like there was a guy who died, I think, at the aquatic center during the basketball game recently or last year. And literally, it was just that. It was a valve that went bad. Didn't know about it. Was playing. All of a sudden, boom! It blew and died on the spot. So
it could have been easily found by a primary care physician. Listening to the heart for 5 minutes. Saying, "Let's get this."
I think it's
out.
Like we need to change the model, right? Because the thing is, if you are, Medea knows. I mean, our people don't realize, like for our office, just for our billing side, okay. If I see a patient for 20 minutes, it probably takes an hour of billing time just to get the insurance to pay, right? It's crazy. No, no joke. I mean, it does, and she's really good at it. So it takes her an hour. It takes me 6.
Right.
6 weeks.
That's someone who's well trained at it.
She's really good. Medea's amazing. She's incredibly smart and like amazing at her job. But it would take me for a long time. I would just not be able to
get sometimes, at least from the outside looking in, you would probably disagree. But from the outside looking in, it looks like it's almost confusing by design.
Oh yeah,
like it's designed to make you.
The reason Medea is here is because one, she's amazing, but two, because literally I have no idea what I'm talking about.
That and because Dr. Usher's out of town.
Yeah, that's true. Who also doesn't know what she's talking about when it comes to insurance and billing and stuff.
But I feel as far as the two wranglers in the building, Dr. Usher's more of a wrangler than you are.
Yeah, I'm more like I'm good.
Matter of fact, you're probably a wrangalee. Now that I think about it.
She's the yi to his ha.
Yeah, yi to the ha, yin to the yang.
You're the one saying, "All right, doctor, do your thing."
It's a good balance, exactly. So I'm like the guy over here cracking jokes. She's like, "We have 2 minutes left, dude."
It is kind of funny. Like, peel back the curtain a little bit because Dr. Keon is my dentist as well, and I go see him every 6 months. and I'll come in for my 6-month cleaning or whatever, and usually the hygienist comes in and does her thing first.
Yeah.
And so she's doing her thing, and then sometimes Dr. Ken will come in the middle of that, sometimes after. Boy, it just depends on what's going on in his life at the moment. But
it's like depends on is there food in the break room? I don't know. Is it around lunchtime?
But what makes me laugh is it gets to the point where the dental assistant's like, all right, get out because I got to finish cleaning here.
You gotta go,
dude. Like she'll come in and like talking and everything, and Keon and I just having a conversation. She's like, dude, I got to do my job here. Get out so I can clean.
Move it outside.
And then he comes in and does his dinner stuff. But like, she's kind of in there handling her business, and he's in there, just doing Keon.
We know.
Customer. Yeah, she's like, that happens like 37 times a day. That's not unique to your experience.
But it's you gotta everybody's got their own style.
Yeah,
and,
but it's great. I love it. I
Yeah.
love that, and I think that's a great. And I think the dental, we joke and all, but But I think at the end of the day, that's just a great working environment. You guys have a family-like environment in there. That's just how you. That's the environment you all.
But not
created.
like the type of family that we all actually have. The ones we don't
not
talk
the
about.
bickering kind.
Not the
kind that gets along and
the happy family.
Yeah.
The happy family, not the ones we actually have.
Yeah, not the ones that end up on a court show somewhere on Dr. Phil.
Speaking of the what is it? I was thinking. I saw. I don't know. This is so random, but all the all the guys who what was it, Maury or whatever? Or back in the day, was like
you are not the father.
You're not the father. You're the father. Now I'm realizing all those kids are probably now like teenagers or adults.
Some
now.
of them are probably adults,
and a lot of them are sitting there saying like, "Oh my God, that's my dad," and he was running from the camera, and the camera had to chase him down the hallway because he didn't want to be.
That's their 15 minutes.
Anyways,
yeah.
So
they have to explain to people once in a while they were on an episode of Jerry Springer.
Right? Yeah. My mom found out. I found out what happened when you found out you were a dad.
Yeah.
Well. It was me or two other guys on Jerry Springer, and then I ran out of the building, and the camera chased me, and,
that's right. We had a fight.
That's how we found out.
And then the guy Steve came in and broke it up, and that's what happened.
Yeah. The bouncers showed up, and they were yelling, Jerry. Sorry. I don't know. It's like, so,
I'm just as bad as you are, so this is why we need Sarah to wrangle us. Because usually she's the one that usually says, all right, guys.
Medea's already kicked me like 4 times.
Not yet.
But I get what you're saying is now that we do the Medicare and everything, for folks that are listening and saying, I don't know, I didn't know if my stuff's covered or I can, please come in, let's sit down, we'll go and we'll see what your Medicare can. Yeah. And that's another thing too. And you do work with those folks a lot that don't have the insurance to pay.
We always tell people,
say, hey, let's find out a way to help you out. Because we want to make sure you're happy. We want to make sure you're happy and healthy. And we want to make sure what's going on in your mouth is giving you good things in life, not creating problems.
And we've worked really hard. I mean, and I know I'm the first one to know dentistry is expensive. Like I know that, and I also know that cheap dentistry is expensive. It's not just expensive. It's just to do cheap dentistry expensive. So to do good dentistry is really expensive on our end. But I think for a patient, it's also one of those things. What I look at is it's also really expensive to have to do stuff or have to redo it again in 5 years.
Well, and that's just it's like
what's cheap
cost, is it really expensive or are we just doing something now that we won't have to fix again 5 years from now?
So we try to work. So that's why we try to look at different avenues of how we can actually help our community and actually take care of the people that we're seeing every day.
Sure.
Again, and so for the Medicare stuff, and not Medicaid, for the Medicare stuff, they don't cover the cleanings. They don't cover, I need a new crown or my crown fell off or whatever. And those are real things, right? It's more like, I've lived my whole life and my teeth, I need a new set of teeth. Mm-hmm. Or I have a big infection and I need it taken care of. That's because it's basically, it has a medical reason to get done.
Sure.
That's when Medicare can step in.
And even in the medicine world now, the science world, where we're seeing that your dental work is related to other parts of your body. And conversely, I would argue that some of the things you're seeing from your teeth are symptoms of other things.
Sure, yeah.
And so going to the dentist is another layer of having people looking out for everything. Get back to that primary care thing. They're listening to the heart.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. They're going to the dentist. You're seeing something in there, and you're saying, you know what? I'm seeing something here that indicates something you might want to have your primary care physician check out. So it's another level of making sure someone's kind of keeping tabs on the things that are little now that turn into something big if you leave them unattended or just ignore them.
Yeah, because like a lot of stuff, like I said, our office is we do a lot of, we're very surgically oriented.
It's a medical partnership. It's not a trip to the dentist is just like any other medical appointment or medical thing, and it's all partnered together.
Yeah.
It's part of your overall health. If there's something going on with your teeth, your primary care should know that, and vice versa. If you're dealing with your diabetes, certainly, because if you haven't been to the dentist in a while, when you go, they're going to do your blood pressure. They're going to do take your medicines and stuff, just like at a doctor's office, because it all impacts the medicines that you're on impact what he can do. And I'm sure there's certain blood thinners and certain things that if you get in there doing like a normal patient, that's going to be a problem for them.
Big time. And we get a lot of referrals. Transplant patients. You need a new knee. I mean, all these things you need to get the dental stuff taken care of first, and really healthy. Or even certain medications for osteoporosis. And then we'll get patients come in and we're having long conversation with them, like, why are you going on these medications? Have you done this? We do a lot of, have you tried vitamin D? What's your vitamin D levels? Are you on collagen? Are you on, taking magnesium? Are you taking copper? All these things that are where you're, I mean, the reality is majority of patients get, like osteoporosis are all women. They're all postmenopausal. Your hormones have dumped out.
Sure.
You're not really going to the sun much.
Your body's kind of setting the table for the right recipe for it.
Yeah. My mom's in her 60s, and I can tell you right now, she's not tanning her legs on a regular basis, right? So she's not getting all these things. And so we were able to kind of talk to patients and say, hey, before you start these medications, you should try X, Y, and Z, and get you healthy before we do it. And
that's true. Like, there's alternatives or things that maybe Dr. Usher's not here, but she kind of handles this side of it, the sleep apnea side.
Oh yeah.
I know the technology, kind of the standard operating procedure. There's the big machines and the CPAP and all that stuff. And now I think they're getting I've seen commercials for some kind of remote control thing you're carrying around now. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. That one's crazy.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
I think I really I have a patient that he's trying to get one, and I want to see how it works. Yeah. So I really want to I'm really interested to see it, because basically they put a little little battery pack in your
I've only seen the commercial. It looks like they got a remote.
And then it's like a wire that goes into your tongue.
Oh.
So what it does is if you stop breathing, it zaps your tongue, which makes your tongue go. Well, viewers don't, listeners can't see it, but it basically makes your tongue go, it causes a contraction in your tongue, which causes the tongue to basically tighten up and move away from
contract
the throat.
Those muscles and cause it
to move away from the throat to open
unblock what's blocking.
Yeah. So, but I really want to know what happens if you snore? I really want to test it out. I want to guinea pig him. He's a cool guy.
Well, it sounds interesting, but if you're not ready for all the machines or ready to put some kind of thing in your neck,
get a
or whatever
surgery
that
goes up into your throat.
They have mouthpieces that do work, and they adjust. And my wife uses one. I know. I've seen them in action. They do
work.
They do work. They do work.
And they're alternative. Now, obviously, like every patient, not every patient's gonna work. It's just what I mean.
Yeah.
Every patient, some things work better than others, and all that. But if you're tired of the CPAPs and you're not ready to put wires in your neck or whatever that is, maybe something simple as a mouth guard you wear at night is what you can do.
Medicare covers it.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And she'll help you get on that.
Yeah. It's actually funny because my motivation to learn about the wiry tongue thing is really just to see if it can do party tricks. Like if you just are at a party and just start snoring, does it immediately
or can you put it in Gene Simmons mode?
Right.
And then you hit it, and all of a sudden your tongue's like Gene Simmons and shoots out about a mile.
My motivation to see this device is not medical at all. It really is to see how can we game this thing, and is it like a shot collar? Can your wife also get it? And as soon as you start arguing with her,
can I do with this?
If you start arguing with your wife, because she just starts that.
And that's when the divorce started.
We're gonna need 2 of those remotes.
Yeah,
we're gonna need 2.
One for the goose and one for the gander there, I think. But
anyways, it's always good being on your show. And
that's just it. Folks, if you need help, please come. If you're having dental issues, I don't care if it's something simple as a pain or you're just thinking, you know what, it's been a long time since I've been to a dentist. Maybe I should have go in there for a checkup and get looked at. Come talk, and like you said, if you're on Medicaid, or private
Medicare.
I always do that. I'm sorry.
That's hard.
I'm a dumb DJ.
Everybody does it.
But if you do the Medicare and you have private or no insurance, any of that stuff, please come in. We'll get you set up. We'll get you looked at. And like you said, you work with people all the time. Yeah. Now, of course, if you got your insurance or your job, whatever, all that works like normal. But but if you're trying to do some dental work with Medicare,
you need some bigger treatments. Just
we got not only the ability, but the resources to help you navigate through the red tape and all the stuff that
and the resource
fee
all the stuff that by the end of the day you're pounding your head in the wall.
But also, I think so. This is just a quick plug though. This year has been a funny year that we have seen a lot of people come in with, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s with pain on their wisdom teeth, and it's just been a weird year for that. I don't know what's going on, but just quick plug, and every time they come in, it's the surgery so much. It's so much worse. The healing's so much worse. There's so much more risk of nerve damage, all these things. If you're a grandparent or a parent listening, get any teenagers in your life, get them to a dentist. Doesn't have to be us. Get them to a dentist to get their wisdom teeth checked out, because we love taking care of people and stuff like that. But man, there's so many things that we've done. Like they come in and it's like we have to take these out now, and it's like these would have been so much easier 15 years ago.
Yeah, I was a grown man that had to do that.
Yeah,
and the bottom set I could do at the dental office.
Yeah.
That was before your time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the man that predecessed you in there is
Dr.
Perry.
Yeah.
He's the one who took those out. The top ones I had to go to an actual orthodontist surgeon and get knocked out and removed. But
it's just one of those things. If you
it's
get
harder
when you're
older.
It's like
right.
that's what I tell people. It's like when you're 15, you can jump out of the back of a truck that's moving, roll,
indestructible,
and then you're fine. Nothing happens. And then when you're after age 30, it's like you slept with the wrong pillow on the and you just
as a man now in his 50s, those rolls you did in the 20s, you didn't hurt then, they hurt now.
Yeah, they hurt now.
Now they hurt.
Now they're
now
30 years
hurting.
later.
Now they're like, man, my back's killing me. And you're like, oh, it's because I literally did the fall guy off the back of that truck 30 years ago.
Let's do the same way. It's like you heal so much better. And you don't care, and you got mom to take care of you, grandpa, whoever.
Yeah.
It's get out of school. Not get out of school. Do it during the summer. I'm just putting a plug because man, it has been. There's so many patients. I'm like, I wish someone had told you to do this 20 years ago, because your life would have been a lot better. So if you got grandkids or whatever, remind their parents.
Yeah. Well,
get the wisdom teeth out.
And the younger they are, the more you can create a positive dental experience.
Yeah.
So the fears and some of the stuff that does come with dentists is not an issue.
Well, people don't. I don't think all the time realize they think, we wait till the wisdom teeth are hurting to come out. Well, by the time they're hurting, that means they either have eaten away into the tooth in front of them. You've lost jaw because there's an infection, and we see people all the time that I'm removing giant cysts out of their wisdom teeth because half their jaw's gone because the wisdom teeth will just destroy the whole jaw, or there's a nerve that runs through your jaw, and if the roots get wrapped around it, if the tooth gets infected, it has to come out, and you could potentially sever the nerve. Now you're numb for life. So. It's one of those things.
Which is no good either.
Get it out when you're young. So
So come.
Anyways, it was just quick. This has been usually most wisdom teeth we've been seeing are teenagers. It's totally fine, whatever. But it's been a trend lately where it's like, you should have had this done, man. This is like every week. It's been a lot of that. So
and I think part of it's too. Just when we grew up, they said, "Oh, if they're not bothering you, then leave them alone."
Yeah.
That's kind of
sure. Yeah.
The science is saying otherwise now.
Science saying way otherwise. Yeah.
Well, good deal.
Take
so, Carabelli Dental, you go to, was it carabellidental.com is the website?
Yeah.
And of course, come on by there. What's the actual address? It's on Main Street right next to the...
824 North Main.
There you go, 824 North Main. And come get an appointment, come talk.
Yeah.
Come, let's get you back to being healthy.
Yeah. Come meet me today. She's the best.
Come find us.
There you go. Best. Well, thank you guys.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Anytime. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
For us in Santa Fe. In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans who own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
What in the wide world of sports?
Hiring tumbled last month, just 175,000 new jobs, down from 315,000 in March. Wall Street stocks are soaring, though, on hopes that this will help to convince the Fed to cut interest rates later in the year. Former President Trump says the economy is bad, and now it's starting to show. President Biden insisting the economy is in recovery mode. Well, you can get there from here, but it will take extra time and effort. I-95 is closed at Norwalk, Connecticut, the result of a fiery crash that damaged a bridge.
Stay away from that area. We've given a notice to all the trucking companies and others. Take I-87 if you can, or I-84 as alternatives. I-84 is an alternative. Rail is going, or good day to work from home.
Governor Ned Lamont heard on the Connecticut Network. And watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 335 points. NASDAQ ahead 273. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
No end to the unrest, the violence gripping Haiti.
Gangs in Haiti laid siege to several neighborhoods in Port-au-Prince, burning homes and exchanging gunfire with police for hours as hundreds fled the violence early Thursday, one of the biggest attacks since Haiti's new prime minister was announced. The violence erupted in neighborhoods located southwest of the main international airport, which has remained closed for nearly 2 months. As new leaders take charge in the country amid squabbling, Haitians are demanding that they prioritize their safety as gangs remain more powerful and better armed than Haiti's national police. I'm Norman Hall.
Britain's governing Conservative Party suffering heavy losses as local election results pour in. It's increasing pressure on Prime Minister Sunak ahead of a UK general election in which the main opposition Labour Party appears increasingly likely to return to power after 14 years. Labour won control of councils in England it hasn't held for decades. Townhall.com. The United Methodist Church has crossed a line, driving conservatives away.
For the past 52 years, the United Methodist Church has officially declared the practice of homosexuality incompatible with Christian teaching. But that has ended now that the church delegates removed that phrase from their official book of discipline at their Legislative General Conference in Charlotte, North Carolina. The action comes a day after delegates removed a ban on LGBT clergy. The new document defines marriage as a covenant between two people of faith without limiting it to a man and a woman. The shift follows the departure of a quarter of U.S. congregations from the United Methodist Church amid disputes over LGBT issues. Keith Peters reporting.
Ukraine, along with trade and investment expected to dominate Chinese leader Xi Jinping's first trip to Europe in 5 years, starts on Monday in France. Xi's stop in France to be followed by visits to Hungary and Serbia. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the the DJ, the travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy viernes.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
It is officially Friday.
Yes, sir. We made it.
We're here. Weekend plans? Plenty. Lots going on. We got got the carnival and the going on at the Wool Bowl. Game at Roswell grand opening. Lots of other just events happening around town. Cinco de Mayo. People have their own little parties and celebrations set up for that too. So it's a busy weekend, folks. Lots of joy and frivolity.
Indeed.
Yeah. So
frivolity shall ensue.
Absolutely. So yeah, so get out there, and plus weather's pretty nice. I know. I think it's supposed to get windy and things here. You know, I saw 78 as a high tomorrow.
Really?
With the winds and all.
Nice.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Heck yeah. It's like a springtime day.
Yeah.
What's the occasion?
I know a lot of folks love this 90s and all that, but I'm like, we'll get there soon enough. Let me have my 70s, please.
Yeah, it's crazy on a day where it's going to be in the 70s. I'm not going to be able to enjoy it really. Oh, by the way, I will say, come on out tomorrow. Our sister station, 106.1 Fiero FM, going to be broadcasting live 10 to 1 at Roswell Ford.
Yeah.
They've been, for the past month, celebrating their grand reopening. And they're going to have a Cinco de Mayo celebration out there tomorrow.
They're grilling food, all kinds
Street
of stuff.
tacos,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard.
I think I'm going to hightail it out of town for a little bit. After I'm going to get everything set up. Okay, so this has been my TPS reports this week.
Okay.
From Office Space.
Yes.
I've had like 4 separate occasions people have asked me, just to make sure, you're going to be there to set up Claudia's remote on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll make sure that she's good to go, okay?
Accounts payable Nina speaking. Just a moment. Accounts payable Nina speaking. Just a moment.
Did you not get a copy of that memo?
Yeah, right.
I'll get you faxed one over.
We'll get you it over.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the equipment will then go to Thomas' house for the rest of the weekend, and I'm venturing to parts unknown.
Okay.
I decided to go to a place where it's going to be consistently 10 degrees, always hotter than it is here.
Okay.
It's going to be close to 90.
All right. So where are you going?
Heading close to the border, heading to Cruces.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you're going to Five Guys it this weekend?
I'm going to try some Five Guys hopefully this weekend, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, or I've also been told there's a Freddy's nearby.
You know what? And
there's a Red Robin nearby.
Oh yeah, they got it's.
I'm telling you,
they got. But I've had Red Robin. Robin's fine.
I've had Red Robin. Yeah,
it's no Five Guys. Like if you want onion rings in a tower, go to Red Robin. If you want a burger, go to Five Guys.
I'm just saying both places they sort of have bottomless fries.
They do. Well,
one they give it a finite number, but it's a whole bag of fries.
I've never finished a thing of fries. And
exactly.
If you have, but and here's something I suggest. If you've got food capacity, get you a milkshake before you leave. And be honest, and another visit, try one of their hot dogs. They butterfly and grill it, and it's very good.
I'm sure they're great. I just always have a hard time
exactly.
wrapping my head around
I've had the hot
dog
dog once, and all my trips to Five Guys, I'm like, what am I? My Five Guys. But one day I said, you know what? Give me the hot dog. And you know what? Oh, it was amazing. It was good. I got a burger too because I'm a savage, but I was like, throw me a hot dog. But they have a shake, and then they have a menu of the ingredients you want to put. You can put bacon in there if you want.
That's pretty awesome. Do you remember, it was a few years ago, the All-America burger from Carl's Jr.?
Yeah.
That came with, it was a hamburger or a cheeseburger with, it was like two patties.
Was it kind of like a Big Mac
bacon
knockoff?
Potato chips and
that's a different
hot
sandwich.
dog.
Oh yeah,
on top of it.
I remember that. I've had the hot dog on, because that's a very popular thing. And weirdly enough, Mexican restaurants. I've had hot dogs on hamburgers several times in Mexican restaurants.
That really,
and I love it every time. But
sure.
I'm thinking, is it a Mexican thing to put hot dogs on hamburgers?
To me, it just feels like a hat on a hat. You know, it's like you're putting meat on top.
Well,
I mean, I understand, Mike.
You know my mantra.
But
the best meat condiment for meat is more meat.
But when you're putting, it's like when you're putting like with like, you're not tasting the variations therein, unless you're like some kind of super taster that's sitting there and breaking down the different.
I do.
Notes.
I taste the hot dog in a hamburger.
Do you?
When I do eat a hot dog with a hamburger on it, because it's a different texture and consistency.
A bit of a different.
And
one.
I notice it.
I would say maybe like a brat on top of a burger that could work really well.
Well, and in all fairness, the hot dogs I've had a good snap.
Okay.
So it gives you that snap.
See, and that's
thing.
You have to have a good.
So I think you need that. Yeah.
You need a good wiener. Like you can't go with bar ass. You know.
Yeah, you can't get the old cheapo 50-cent pack hot dogs. You need to get the ones where they bless it or something.
Like a Nathan's or Hebrew National,
or
something
Hebrew
with some snap.
something that gets blessed or, they actually, something like that. But anyway,
I feel so bad for the hot dog rabbi. The one rabbi who's been designated to stand at the plant and be like, L'chaim, or whatever it is they say. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu.
And I'm a rube and not knowledgeable in this. I think, there is the blessing, but I believe there's the way they butcher the meat.
They slaughter it.
I think there's a certain procedures and things they have to do it a certain way to count it as kosher.
Yeah.
So the blessing part is I think the cherry on top. I think there's more to it than that, but I could be wrong. I'm not Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't know all of the traditions. So, but yeah, hot dog on a burger, I'm down every time. Like I had a hot dog. I had like one burger I had one time. It literally had an entire. It was ham, bacon, a hot dog. I was like, is there any beef in this thing? Oh, and there was a beef patty.
Oh, you get your beef.
And I loved it. I didn't care. It was
Dude,
great.
this is okay. Let me tell you how like food nostalgic I've been lately. I heard a name yesterday that I have not heard in 20 years, and immediately flashed back to it. Have you ever eaten at a Grandy's?
I think I did, but it was like
eons ago.
Yeah.
See, Grandy's is a real big thing in the South. Like,
yeah,
it's
I
real big in
remember.
Texas
I always see them on road, like on the interstate. That was the time, and I feel like we stopped at one at like going to Florida or something at one point.
We ate at Grandy's all the time when we were on the road when I was growing up. But then we had one in Albuquerque when I was living in Rio Rancho. Got to eat there a few times, and that is to this day, my standard bar for country gravy is Grandy's. I've never had a better.
Because that's where you were introduced to it, and like
no,
everything.
actually, I was introduced to it through Medill, Oklahoma. So there's a place called the Sportsman, I think.
Okay.
First place I ever had country gravy, but the best I've ever had was by far Grandy's. I don't know if it's just like the care. I always just imagine there was an actual grandma in the kitchen that made it.
All right. Oh yeah.
Just
yeah.
had the old family recipe or something.
Well, I always felt like that with now. Most people know it as Bob's Big Boy, but when I take my trips to New York to see grandparents and all that, we'd go and they had the Bob's Big Boy. We always stopped at, except for they called them LBs.
Okay.
There, and it's a Bob's Big Boy. It's kind of like a Denny's or something like today. With, they had the Big Boy burgers and all the. Of course, they had the Big Boy, and the Big Boy thing on it. And so, I remember going there and in my younger days thinking there was a guy that was actually like the Big Boy back there making the burgers and everything.
Just a very happy boy with a curl in
with
his
the
hair.
overalls and the white and the red and just the Superman curl, the whole thing.
It's funny how that iconic image was burned into our heads thanks to Austin Powers.
Yeah. Well, to me, it was before that. I mean, I think it reminded a generation from Austin Powers. Oh, yeah, remember Bob's Big Boy or LB's or RB's or he had different names. There's LB's in one in like Pennsylvania, New York area. Big Boy most of the place. Like down Maryland, it was Big Boy.
Right.
But up Pennsylvania, it was LB's.
I'm trying to think.
There was another name too that was in there in other parts of the country, but it was also the Big Boy. It's not Stuckey's, but it was something like that was also Big Boy under the Big Boy banner.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if it was called El Rancho or it was
Elroy.
Elroy.
Yep. That's right. There were some Elroys.
Yep.
That were Big Boys.
We had an Elroy's in Oklahoma City. That's where
right,
I remember
Elroy's.
seeing it.
As soon as you said it, that's the other one. LB's and Elroy's.
Because I couldn't remember if it was El Reno or El something. It was Elroy's.
Elroy's.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, Elroy's. You said, I was like, that's it. LB's and Elroy's.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think there's still one or two Big Boys floating around, isn't there?
I'm
sure. You can go to certain cities,
and
I bet you go to Vegas or something. There's a Big Boy. There's got to be a Big Boy around Vegas somewhere. You know.
Big Boy Restaurants. Still doing business as Big Boy. That's what it says.
Now,
locations.
There was a time where it was Bob's Big Boy.
Uh-huh.
Was that just a fleet of the night, or was it Bob's Big Boy?
It might be just
time?
Big Boy Restaurants that then changed to Bob's Big Boy, so they have the variation. Because everything I'm seeing is just Big Boy.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to find locations.
I imagine there's got to be one or two floating around somewhere in the United States. Because there's a whole collector's market for Big Boy memorabilia. And it's quite
It looks
expensive.
like it's pretty solidly all in Michigan.
Detroit, huh? Or
Yeah,
Michigan,
Battle
huh?
Creek.
All right, Battle Creek, Michigan. They like their Big Boy up in Battle Creek, huh?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Here's Bob's Pantry. Big Boy began as Bob's Pantry in 1936.
Okay.
So that's how they got Bob's Drive-Ins, then Bob's Home of the Big Boy.
Yeah.
Yep, and now it's just Big Boy.
Interesting.
Big boys.
So, I guess a trip to Michigan is in order to get you some Big Boy.
Indeed.
Yeah. Of course. Anything else while we're up in Michigan?
Nothing I can think of.
I think I'm good. You need a car or anything?
There is a place in Michigan that is like the one place in the United States that manufactures Angostura bitters.
Tim Allen's from Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
That's
true.
that. Because he always does commercials for Michigan.
He
always wears Detroit Lions stuff in shows and things.
There's a bar up in Michigan. Matter of fact, where your encouragement, your initiation into the bar is to do a shot of bitters, which if you ever bitters is like 45% like heavy alcohol, but it's like really really not a great flavor.
Yeah.
Super bitter, obviously from the name. But that's like the initiation shot.
To get to
be like a part of the part of the group.
Yeah.
If you want to fit in, you gotta do a whole shot of bitters.
I'm pretty sure the guy who just had the shot of bitters probably spent 10 times more on the tab than the people who didn't have the shot of bitters. That's a marketing ploy.
Yeah. It's a genius one though.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of like the toe up in Alaska. I'm still to this day I want to go do the toe.
We say tradition. I say you're a sucker. Now you're gonna spend more money in my shop. Tomato. But I get it. As younger, yeah, absolutely. But let's be real here. That's a marketing ploy.
We've all got our various bucket lists.
That's right. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll do all the weather and all that here in just a bit. Barbara Gomez with Main Street Roswell going to join us here shortly to give us an update what's happening in and around Main Street Roswell. So we'll do that here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's take a gander at the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Sunny and warm today with high pressure overhead for now. We'll be in the upper 80s on this afternoon's high. Looks like mid-50s and clear for the overnight hours, and then a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up for Saturday. We'll stay in the low 80s. Quick cold front moving through. We might get a few showers or thunderstorms. Scattered showers on Saturday night. Then we're back to sunny, warm, and breezy weather on Sunday. Upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton. That's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. I need a math wizard in here. I have a question on math that I don't know. So I'm sitting here looking at the weather, and I just was refreshed my weather, and I just noticed a number that looked odd, and now I'm trying to figure out what the thing is. So anyway, let me do the weather. 67 currently here. All right, good. All right, so I'm looking at the weather report here, and so it's 67 currently. Humidity is at 49%. Wind's still not available because something's broke out at the airport or something. I don't know. But the barometer here. Okay, first they give it 2 inches, 29.90 inches.
Okay.
And then in parentheses it says 1006.7 MB. What is MB?
Let's find out. Barometer measurements, MB.
I was just trying to figure out what that number is. Millibars. Millibars. I've never heard of that.
The standard pressure at sea level is 1013.25 in both millibars and hectopascal.
Okay.
The number of molecules in the atmosphere decreases with height. A millibar is a form of metric measurement with 1 millibar equaling 1/1000th of a bar or 1 pascals, which is equivalent to 1 Newton per, hold on, 1 Newton per square meter.
So something about a bar and fig Newtons. What are we talking about?
All right, hold on. I'm trying to find it. It's a highly sensitive unit of measurement. 1 millibar indicates a change of 0.1% of the atmospheric pressure. So
it's not a little bar in a hotel that serves a little tiny drink. Okay, just anyway, back to the weather. Sunny today with a high of 92. Winds will be out of the southeast 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 miles per hour this afternoon. Increasing clouds tonight, overnight low of 57. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, there's a 20% chance of some showers for tomorrow afternoon, otherwise partly cloudy. 78 tomorrow, a little cooler. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. 30% chance of showers for tomorrow night, mainly before midnight. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 57 with east winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Early, then gradually the sun will come out, and high of 86. Winds will be breezy with east winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 25 out of the south for Sunday afternoon. Sunday night, mostly clear, breezy, overnight low of 56. And then Monday when you head back to work, we're looking at patchy blowing dust for the afternoon, sunny and breezy with a high of 89. All right, it is 9:21. We're going to take a quick 4-minute break, and then Barbara Gomez with Main Street Roswell will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Attend the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th this weekend at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center in Roswell, New Mexico. See dealers selling the finest in modern guns, antique guns, custom knives, ammo, scopes, Old West collectibles, and much more. Buy, sell, and trade at the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th. Gun aficionados, you don't want to miss out on this huge selection of ammo. Over 500,000 rounds of ammo on sale. Winchester, Remington, 9mm Luger, 38 Special, and more. Buy, sell, and trade at the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th this weekend at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, 912 North Main Street in Roswell. Get $1 off admission. Go to azgunradio.com. That's azgunradio.com. Free parking.
This is Candy Spency Zell. I've been involved in agriculture my whole life. I own our cattle ranch with my husband, and I still own family farms with my brothers down by Artesia. My dad was a farmer. His dad was a farmer. Agriculture and livestock is in my blood, and that's who I am. I have a lifetime's worth of experience and knowledge on the issues facing farmers and ranchers in New Mexico. I'm running for the state senate because I want to fight for our rights and our needs. I will protect our water in New Mexico, and especially here in the southeast. I will make sure that water rights from our basins are not bought up by developers and pumped to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. As your senator, I will protect our water. I'm Candy Spency Zell, asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spencer Zell for State Senate, District 32.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Whatever you've got planned this week, cancel it. Because our biggest one-week sales event starts right now at the all-new Roswell Ford. Now till this Saturday, get huge Cinco de Mayo savings on all-new and quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford for less, with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. We have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker when you could buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from the all-new Roswell Ford for a whole lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or visit us online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
You're invited. Car Affair 2024, presented by the Cars Club of Carlsbad. Saturday, June 1st at Beach in Carlsbad. Early registration is Friday with a cruise. Then Saturday, car registration starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 10:30 a.m. Enjoy music, food, car-related swap meet, a 5K run, door prizes, and a special Try 5 Chevys area. To register or for more information, visit carsclubofcarlsbad.com.
In our culture, hope is one of those interesting words. We often use it like this: I hope I can afford a new car this year, or I hope all this rain won't fill the yard with weeds. We want something good to happen, but we're not completely confident that it will happen. The Bible uses hope in a totally different way. Instead, it's one of confident expectation. We have hope because the reality that Jesus the King has come. We know that we can make it because Jesus is with us. Even in moments when we feel powerless, we're reminded that He is powerful. But we also have hope because Jesus the King is one day going to come back. When He does, wrongs will be made right and evil will be bound forever. This hope is a guarantee. For me, that makes the difficult life just a little bit easier to live.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from, technically upstairs.
Upstairs. Yeah, all the way from upstairs.
All the way from the fourth floor here. Barbara Gomez back with us, Director of Main Street Roswell here. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Mike. I just can't believe it's already Friday. I have so much work to do. I was hoping when I got up this morning that it was probably Thursday, at least. But it isn't. It isn't. But it's a great day, and the weather is getting a little chilly today, a little bit.
But it's the weather's getting nicer, so we're getting closer to thinking like spring and summer stuff.
Yes.
And so, which, to be honest, this is kind of the season when Main Street Roswell gets really busy. It's going all year long, but when the weather gets nice, people want to come outside, people want to do things.
We start revving
obviously,
up a little
we got
bit.
a few events coming up here in the coming months that probably eat up a good majority of your time getting ready for it here. Of course, we're just a couple months away from UFO Festival and everything.
We are.
And for folks that aren't aware, Main Street Roswell is kind of the wrangler of this year's, because it's
one
multiple
of the wranglers,
entities.
yes.
Yeah, the museum, the city, everyone's got their own entities as part of the UFO Festival,
the collective
the
UFO,
Galacticon, and everything. Main Street Roswell's kind of the glue in between all this, making sure everything's copacetic. So, but basically, if someone comes to town and wants to learn what's going on with UFO Festival, Main Street Roswell's like, don't forget about this, and this, and we're kind of go check out the museum, and then go over to the city's thing, and go check out the papers thing, and go to Galacticon, and then go, you're the one that's kind of telling everybody to hit it all.
We're working on it. Myself, Juliana Halverson, people that are part of the group here. She's a city councilor, but she has been part of Main Street for many years, but then when she became a counselor, she stepped down.
Hat changed a little bit.
but that doesn't mean that she doesn't work with us and help us with our Facebook and our web pages.
And when she's not
our graphics,
city counselor, she's kind of the unofficial historian of
for Roswell.
I mean,
it takes a lot of pictures.
So many of our city and community events and county, Veterans Day, everything that tentpole events here.
I asked her, are you ever home? Because I see you on Facebook everywhere.
Yeah,
she's everywhere.
She's there recording it.
She's got a lot of
energy, either with drones
or
photos or however her different forms of media she does. She does it all with it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
So we are really, really busy with the UFO Festival and the Alien Fest, and of course, just as you were saying, this year we have kind of an umbrella of the words UFO Festival is kind of the umbrella over everything.
Yeah.
And under that will be the Alien Fest that'll be happening on Main Street, which, by the way, you guys will encompass 7 blocks of Main Street this year.
Nice.
Whose bright idea was that? But anyway.
I think it was yours, wasn't it?
Dang it, you're right. And we also have the Pioneer Plaza area. That's going to be a kids zone across the street at the courthouse will be kind of like the epicenter, but everything and will be flanked on both ends with stages and a car show. So this is like a ridiculous event.
Yeah,
so if you have time and want to be a volunteer, please give me a call.
Well, absolutely. And of course, looking for volunteers, more organizations to get involved. If you're a nonprofit group and you're saying, hey, a service organization, can we help in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, maybe we can get you with help logistics during the festival, cleaning and doing, or maybe you want to set up booths and tables to support your nonprofits and do all that. If you want to get involved that way, reach out to Main Street and talk about how that's happening.
Some of you might need some volunteer hours. This is a good place to do it. And by the way, a big shout out to the Sertoma Club of Roswell. They are our huge sponsor this year, but not only are they a big sponsor along with Excel Energy, but they're also sending some folks over to help us out.
Sending some actual human power there to do some labor.
And of course, we're going to have things going to the convention center with the Galacticon and with the Roswell incident. And, of course, the UFO Museum, you can't forget about them. They always have something wonderful going. The miniature museums got all kinds of fun things.
They're kind of the one seed because at the end of the day, the UFO Festival is all happening because of a UFO incident. And where's the official source for that? The UFO Museum. So obviously they're very much a part of it.
They're very much a part of it. So, yeah, but we'll be hopefully be coming again a lot more sooner here in June maybe to speak a lot more about.
We'll get people this month and in June.
So we're going to be talking a lot more about this. But for today, we're talking about May.
Yes.
And what's happening.
It's got to be May.
It's got to be May. So this month, of course, the most important day of the year is Mother's Day. It's coming up on May the 12th, so please do not miss your opportunity to come downtown and shop.
That being said, support Mother's Day, but don't forget a month later Dad either.
Oh, that's right.
If you're going to do Mom upright, don't forget Dad on the other
Dad.
side.
We'll talk about Dad next month, but for those of you guys that have not thought about it, we've got restaurants all over the Main Street District. I mean,
some are doing Mother's Day deal specials and brunches and things like that. Yeah,
I mean, they're doing something great over at the Liberty, so you can do something fancied up like that, or you can go to, go get some pasta right downtown or some Mexican food.
And if Mom's a picky shopper, a lot of these businesses offer gift cards or gift certificates. And so if you want to shop, 'cause Mom loves clothes, I'm sure, but you better let Mom pick the clothes. Just saying, when we buy clothes for Mom, she's like, "Oh, that's nice." And it sits in the closet, and
I'll never see it again. Next time it's a cleaning rag.
So maybe, if you get to one of our downtown clothing, say, "Can you do a gift certificate?" And let Mom come in and pick out the clothing.
But I feel something that is always in style for a lot of moms is flowers. And we have 2 flower shops right downtown, so don't miss coming by.
And they got all kinds of great ideas if you're kind of like, I just don't want to give her flower. I want to do something special. I want to do a bouquet or something neat, different.
Yeah.
Both the flower shops downtown love to talk to you about creating special arrangements.
Yeah, Behringer's and the Apple Blossom right here on Main Street. So don't miss those guys. But anyway, we'll start out with that. But just to give you a quick update, what happened this last weekend. It was flower planting day for us.
Hopefully you got a chance. I saw them all run around downtown on Saturday. Hitting the planter boxes in their yellow shirts and sprucing up the place a little bit.
So it looked really, really great. But let me tell you, that was one of those quick hurry up and figure something out, like really quick. We normally get sponsored every year. We have been sponsored, but this year our sponsor was not able to sponsor us, and it was one of those last minute things. So we weren't even sure where we were going to get flowers. Peggy and I were like, what shall we do? I said, should we go to, the dollar store and go get some plastic flowers? What are we going to do here? Because, we have 30 planters down Main Street. And for those of you that don't know, those were purchased by Main Street Roswell, and it is a Main Street project. And so we fill them up every spring.
It's
around
a spring tradition in the Main Street corridor to do this. Yeah.
But thankfully and very thankful to some of the businesses in town, they always step up and help us. Roswell Seed has always been where we go to get the best flowers in town. And they stepped up this year and provided us with some beautiful flowers. And I would tell you what kind they are, but I always get it wrong. Geraniums. Geraniums. I didn't know that geraniums came in so many colors.
Yeah. That was kind of, and actually
pink,
there's a fun,
the red, they just
there's a fun few Jim Gill commercials over the years where they talk about the pinks, and then his wife's like, it's not pink, it's alabaster or whatever it is.
Yes,
pretty funny.
Right. That's right. She says that's not that color.
Yeah.
But they provided us with the main flowers that were to go in there. But we did reach out to Walmart, and they stepped up and gave us a really nice gift certificate that we were able to buy the dirt and some extra flowers. And I'm telling you what, Home Depot blew it out of the park for us this year.
Thank you to them, too.
They just said, you want flowers? Here's this box and this box and this box of flowers. And so they look really plush and great. So those of you that see the flowers, just know that a lot of good people here in town helped us to put them out there.
Sure.
And merchants, by the way, a big shout out and thank you to the City of Roswell Parks Department. They are working, and of course Jim Burrs and his team with the city, they are working on the water because we have a watering system downtown. The one on the west side works great. The one on the east side has a few issues.
Gotcha.
So either way, if you have flowers in front of your business, please do us a favor. Go out, check on them.
Yeah.
Water them if it's not dripping because they're still working on it. So you may not be getting water in your area.
Just kind of keep tabs. If you're noticing the soil's not moist or anything, it's probably not getting watered. You probably should should, if you don't mind, look after that.
Yeah,
to
if
help
you don't
us
mind.
out.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jim and them, they are working on it. I know they started over here on the north end of, the corridor and working their way south. But some of them, I think they got broken, and so it takes more than
Anybody
just,
that has a sprinkler system in their yards or any kind of that know that they work great when they're great, but when there's problems, then it happens because anytime the weather changes or something, the elements tend to be rough on these kind of
right,
things.
right.
So,
And so, and we have had a couple of not a couple, maybe possibly a couple of planters. When people are parking, accidentally bump them.
This is true.
And so they do get cracked and
the driving
broken.
skills of the people of Roswell are not the best. I've seen every fence. Like, you want to have a fun one? And I think they've done some work to it, but down the next to Carabelli Dental and Sonic, go to that Sonic, and the thing there's a fence that used to be there. It's no longer there because people don't know when to stop. And they just right into that thing. So the planners have suffered the same fate.
It wasn't me, but could have been. Could have been. Hey, trying to figure out how to park parallel parking over here in our building, Mike, is always a challenge.
Yeah, that's a that not every driver has.
Right,
the parallel
right.
parking ability.
Well, let me just tell you about a couple of things that are coming up, and I may be out speaking to you guys a little bit more about this, but Main Street Roswell's been working on a project that started in 2016, which is a wayfinding plan.
Okay.
It is part of the master plan for Main Street, and part of that included some new benches with kiosks, and by kiosks I mean directional signs and that type of thing.
Sure.
And also it included 2 gateways. One gateway that was supposed to be on the north side of the corridor. And if you guys are wondering where the district of Main Street is, I mean, we don't do the whole Main Street. Okay, we're not responsible for everything from one
just
end.
the blocks, and to be honest, it's not only Main Street; it's the streets a couple blocks to either side of Main Street.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
So if you're at McDonald's on 8th Street, that's the start of the district. The end of the district is Alameda. So that encompasses all those businesses there.
So
and
all on Main Street between those two roads is in the Main
two
Street corridor.
And then the ones that are east and west are the ones that are on Richardson and Virginia. And so that includes all those east and west businesses that are happening there. But the gateway, we've already made some designs for it. It's
And does
gonna
it
be
come
super cool.
like the side streets here? But like, is it Virginia and?
It's actually the really weird. It's the
Like, are those part of that too, or is that the edge?
No,
I couldn't remember.
And it's actually Virginia is the edge going east.
Okay.
But it also encompasses a little bit of the railroad district.
So on the other side of Virginia, there, the businesses that are on the other side. There,
yes,
the
and
east
so
side,
where the barbecue place was, but it's not there anymore.
East of Virginia, there, those businesses are part of the corridor.
Because that is the railroad district is part of the metropolitan redevelopment plan.
Okay.
So there are plans to develop that area at some point. So it is encompassed within.
As a matter of fact, I know you've partnered with the county and talking about some, and they've got some plans of some stuff they want to do in that area too.
Yep.
All for the benefit of the mainstream corridor here. So. Again, but that's down the road plans, and we'll talk more about those as
and actually,
come into fruition.
this couple of weeks ago now, it's been about 3 weeks ago, the county, along with Main Street, did a public presentation that we held at the convention center to go over the new and upcoming cultural plaza.
Yeah.
I'm
Which
not
is kind
sure
of going to be
it's going to be
like on the side of the court. Like what they're trying to do is give a place where we can do some of the courthouse lawn things there to well, it's quite frankly, we want to protect the courthouse lawn a little bit.
Or to give us another outdoor venue.
We love having venues there, but quite frankly, when you have a venue, it does tear up the grass and it's a lot of maintenance and upkeep to keep that going. Not saying we don't have events there, we will, but maybe if we can shoot some of this over to the new plaza, that'll give us a little bit of break on the grass.
Right. Well, plus it does a lot of other things. Just to let you guys know, Main Street Roswell had a project that we worked on a while back that was called the Great Blocks Project. And we had plans to put it somewhere within the district. That did not work out. And so therefore we kind of tried to figure out another partner because we have to partner up with an entity, government entity, either the city or the county. And so we went ahead and worked with the county on this one. It started out with the city and then it moved on to the county on this one. And the location got changed. The good thing about it was that the county already had this plaza in their wish list. So they already wanted this.
So like minds were thinking here.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Kinda, yeah, we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Let's see what we can do to partner here.
Yeah, so through the New Mexico Main Street Economic Development Department and capital outlay funding, we received $2.1 million and towards that cultural park. And so not a park, but a plaza, but it will be behind. So you have the courthouse, then you have the administrative buildings behind the courthouse, you have the parking lot, and directly behind that, before you hit the railroad, that's where this
the plaza will be.
That's where this plaza will be.
Yeah. So it's right there, still in the same area. You park in the same spots.
It's still in the Main Street district.
Yeah, you can park there behind the courthouse and everything, and you just wander on over to the plaza there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really fun.
Yeah. But down the road we'll start. But the plans are in place. And
the plans
now
are in
they're
place.
just I'm sure at the stage of designing, setting up, and getting the next level. But as far as the idea, concept, securing some of the money, that part's moving forward.
Right. And you know what, Mike? Just one more blurb about this is what's going to be cool about it. A lot of times when we do events on the courthouse, you can't fence it in. You can't have a closed event or an event where you
This
charge.
will provide that ability to do that. Yeah.
This will be a closed-in area. It will have a fence around it. It'll have a stage. It'll have.
So if they want to have like ticketed events or things like that, where you have to have an entry point, we can do that.
So that's going to be great. So let me tell you what's going on Main Street so you don't miss it, because something's coming up just like today. So looks like the Fine Arts and the Gallery inside Main Street Arts would like to invite friends and family and customers to celebrate their 10th anniversary celebration.
Oh, cool. That's a fun place if you've never been in there.
It's really, really fun. They've been doing so many fun things there. They have paint parties. They just recently did kind of a fundraiser for the love of community.
And it's kind of like a mall for local artists, too. Like if you want to see works from local artists and purchase or having them commission works for you, they have their spaces in there, and it's kind of like shopping. You walk around, it's like, oh, here's the artist booth, and you see
and it's somebody different, every one of them.
And the art's all unique. It could be ceramics, it could be paintings, it could be woodworking, it could be any medium of art. It just depends on what the artists in residence are doing at that moment.
But go in there and see them today. It'll be open. They'll be open from 4 to 7 today, Friday, May the 3rd, at the gallery. It looks like they're going to have some appetizers and some non-alcoholic drinks, and also a cash bar.
Nice.
For those of you that might be interested.
To come and check out some of the art, meet the artist, and then come. And by the way, if you have an inspiration to do art and do things, they do classes and things. Like if you want to, learn some of this stuff. They did
some watercolors, I believe, recently. Some water painting.
Yeah.
I guess you can.
The staff and volunteers and
I have no talent that way, but I know some people that can just go in there and just pick it up.
And here's the thing: I don't either, but they just have a knack of drawing the talent out of you. Like, and I'm telling you, like I did the whole, like when they did the charity thing where they kind of had people around
they were
town
gonna do celebrities
doing
in
the
town,
paintings.
so you were one of the celebrities.
Yeah,
there?
so I did, and I have none, and they. They not only did my painting look good, but I was like,
I might take this up.
This might be like something that actually someone else might like too,
Yeah.
And so, and they brought that out of me. So let them do that for you.
Plus, it was such a good event, and they raised money for their cause. I don't remember what their cause was.
Well, and that's kind of it's a flowing thing. It was kind of what people support your charity, support this, and so they did, and I'm hoping they plan for more of these because I think it was a huge success, and I know. She was telling me how she was planning that for a good year plus before you even we all heard about it.
I think they're planning another one coming up soon. So when they plan that, we'll be sure and put it out there. And those of you that are wondering, we never know what's going on downtown because guys, there's a lot that happens. Not all the events that happen downtown or at the courthouse lawn are Main Street projects. They're community projects. Just like, was it yesterday? They had a National Prayer Day there at the
on the courthouse lawn. If you were here around in the 12 p.m. hour yesterday,
sure.
You're like, what's going on over there? National Day of Prayer.
Yeah. So we encourage people to let us know what they have going on so that we can help to promote you. And we try to put in there, whether it's our event or not our event, just to say, this is what's going on down there so that you'll know what's going on.
And that's what the Main Street corridor is. Yes, we have a Main Street district. We have the Main Street Roswell organization.
Yes.
And yes, their job is to foster and to make the Main Street corridor better. But at the end of the day, what the Main Street corridor is what the people of it make it to be.
That's right.
And it's the merchants, the people that shop, that frequent it. What you want to see the Main Street corridor evolve to is ultimately what happens. Things like Food Truck Friday, that happens organically because people just wanted to do it. And that's the kind of stuff that Main Street supports. Yes, the plaza and all this, these are kind of, government entities organizing things, but what happens at this plaza is kind of up to the people of the Main Street corridor.
And we have some great people downtown. The new kids shop downtown called Tiny Trends over on the south end of our district.
Yeah.
They got some great things. I can't completely tell you what's going to be going on, but we have a really cool new business opening up also on the south end of the corridor that I can't wait to talk to them more about what they have going, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But your people are always asking me, so what's available to be rented? Sometimes people let me know when they're leaving. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they let me know when they have something for rent or for sale.
But you guys kind of work like a one-stop shop for all properties in the Main Street corridor.
If you have a property that you would, if you're looking, because just yesterday,
for instance, this building's got empty buildings. If you're looking for an office, there's several offices.
It really is what you're looking for. If you're looking for an office, you can be here. You can be over at the SunWest Bank building, over there close to what is it? She's what is it? Sweet Baby J's.
Yeah.
Sweet Baby J's, that building upstairs has a lot of office locations.
But if you want a more storefront thing,
now if you want storefront, then that's a little bit different story for that one.
But it does ebb and flow. Keep tabs. But
so just keep tabs of it, and we'll let you know what all is going up and down Main Street. But there's one that's had one building that's right on the corner. Well, where Ancient of Days is at, somewhere close to that building.
Yeah.
They've had paper up on their windows for a while, and I can't wait for the big reveal. But that's going to be sounds like a lot of fun as well.
Excellent.
And I'm hoping they'll open up just right before the UFO Festival.
That would be convenient, wouldn't it?
So and if you're wondering if there's something to do, there's a place that's called the Roswell UFO Spacewalk.
Yes.
It's right here.
Right downtown.
Right downtown, and it always has really fun things. It says, who wants to go to the Roswell? Everyone. That's a no-brainer. Plot a course to 116 2nd Street. And I really like the picture they put in there, and you'll recognize this, but it's very much a collective group of people in there. I'll let Mike see it.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of Igor.
Yeah. Kind of a Star Trek meets alien autopsy.
Yes, but it's really a cool. It's really a cool place to go.
Yeah.
And of course, we also have the blocks right across the street.
Bricktown.
The Bricktown.
Yeah,
Bricktown.
Bricktown.
So we have all kinds of fun things
Go
for
Lego
kids to
crazy
do.
up in there and see all this stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of family stuff right there in the Main Street corridor.
Right here, there's all kinds of fun stuff.
And then when
to
you're
do.
done, walk down to one of the restaurants nearby or one of the
have
shops.
something great to eat
get
here.
something to snack on. Whether it's dessert or a more full meal or something in between, they got
and
you
if you're
covered.
not in the mood for Mexican food or something like that, we do also have, Subway right down the street there. We have
Peppers.
We have Sonic as well. We have McDonald's. So
and
come down to the
Peppers and some of those, they have full menus of everything that aren't just Mexican.
Peppers, has this great outdoor space.
They do they do their patio of usually from time to time have live singers and little mini I don't say concerts, but just hanging out and just they're playing music and you enjoy your meals or beverage and hang out and socialize.
And if you just want to go to the museum and then go across the street right there, you got Toro Bravo. Yeah. And the Toro Bravo Bakery is right there. And by the way, guys, they have great bakery stuff.
Biscuititos.
My
or
favorite.
A 10 out of that
Do you know
place.
what? I like the little white ones, like the wedding cookies.
Yeah.
So
and if you like Tres Leches cake, I've had a pretty good one out of that one too.
Really?
Before. So
wow. Well, you can't go bad with that, right? So let me tell you a little something that's going on. Also, that some of you might want to get involved in the EDC, which is the Economic Development Center, and it's actually located within our district. So it's the Roswell Chaves County Economic Development Corporation.
Yeah, it's a lot of words, but they're covering the region for business opportunities.
So they're doing something that's called the Best of Chaves County. They want to know what you think. They want you to click and vote for your favorite dining, shopping, service, and fun.
Show some love to your favorite establishments in town in Chaves County here.
This survey will take you less than 5 minutes. We will recognize winners of each category at the annual gala on July the 18th.
Okay.
Voting ends June the 15th.
And you know what? Roswell, y'all have some competition. There's some nice little restaurants in Dexter and Hagerman that are 10s.
Yeah.
And I bet they're going to get some love on here. So
Yes.
Roswell, you better come correct because Dexter Hagerman, they got some competition for
And
delicious
I don't know.
eats
Yeah, and I
and
don't know if
things.
there's write-ins or whatever, or what the
Mhm.
categories are, because I have not clicked on this yet. But you might want to look at their website or
Mhm.
give them a call and just say, how do I do this? I want to vote for my favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, a number of people have done this in the past. You know, from the newspaper to, you know, I don't even know who else did it. Maybe even the chamber, but. I'm really glad that they picked this up and are doing something with it.
Yeah, right the ball and run with it.
Yeah, it's time to do that.
Well, and that's part of the fun too is because it shows the locals our pride in some of our great stuff, but also outside people when they come looking for things to do, they come across articles like this and they find out, oh, yeah, I was reading a thing about this restaurant over there. We should go, you know, when we're here, we need to. And so how do they learn that? By coming across articles and information like this on the internet. When people, because how do you, think about it, when y'all plan a vacation or a trip, y'all get online, start looking for things to do, what's going on and all that kind. Well, guess what? When people come here, they're doing the same thing.
Right.
And so when that kind of thing happens, it's more stuff for them to see and tout and talk about. Oh, and to be honest, that's the stuff that gets a little more run because we all know the tentpole stuff. Everyone comes for the aliens or this or that. It's when they look for the nuggets off the highway of great stuff.
And you know, right
we have
now
so much of that.
we've had some new mom and pop restaurants that are popping up, not within my district, but further on south. And north, some new places are opening up. So look around. You know, we've got some great places to eat.
Absolutely.
So we have something else that's a little bit more serious that's coming up. The New Mexico Climate Adaptation and Resilience Plan.
Okay.
As part of New Mexico's plan to support resilient communities in protecting what we care about the most, our land, our people, and our New Mexican traditions. So this will be coming up as a upcoming community conversation will be happening Tuesday, May the 21st, and it'll be out at the college at the Occupational Technology Center.
OTC building.
At the OTC building. So it'll be May 21st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. So maybe you want to get into that conversation, you know, share your story.
Well, if you have a concern there and listen or hear, because let's face it, you know, regardless of your politics on green energy and all that stuff, we all live on the same planet. We all want the nicest place possible.
That's right.
What can we do to make that stay that way?
I mean, I really like this. Our land, our people, and our New Mexican traditions.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so, you know.
But if you have questions about that, look for it on our Facebook.
The best way for you to know what's going on is staying informed, going to meetings like this, hearing what and to be honest, meetings like this cut through all the other crap. Like, problem is, if you're basing your information on things off of stuff online or social media, you're getting a filter of 20 other people's opinions and hot garbage of may be true, may not be true. At a meeting like this, you're having people that are giving you the straight scoop one way or another. There's not a filter of the public injecting their opinions on this stuff. So you're hearing that information. You can take it in and act accordingly that way, whether you want to do more about it or you think it's hokum, whatever your opinion is, but you get to do it yourself.
That's right.
And that's what this
and the other thing is, if you guys don't mind, please get on our Facebook, like our Facebook. It's Main Street Roswell. There's another separate page for people that are stakeholders, but there is a Main Street Roswell Facebook page. Please get on there. Give us, look us up. It's got our phone numbers or email addresses. You got ideas. You want to help us out with something. We would love to have you give us a call. And I mean, because there's a lot of things we do. The bottle capped benches is still going.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot going on.
Kind of getting to my point, what the Main Street Corridor is what the people want it to be.
That's right.
And if you're not involved, it's kind of hard to make that happen. So
and if we don't have enough people, we kind of have a hard time.
So volunteer, yes, please. If you want to
implementing anything,
I'm going to remind people again. If you want nice things in your community, you have to do that yourself. No one else is going to just bring you nice things. You have to fight for it, you have to scratch for it, and you have to work for it.
That's right.
And if you're not willing to do that, then guess what? You're probably not going to get the nice things. Because if you're sitting around waiting for the magic fairy to come and just dawn you, Dominus Ominous Plaza, Dominus Ominous bathrooms for everyone.
That's right.
It takes money, hard work, and time and effort to do that.
It takes time and a lot of hoops to jump through. So whenever you say to me, hey, Barbara, what are you going to do about this situation? Or what are you going to do about bathrooms? It's like, We are working on it, you guys. These things do not happen overnight.
Absolutely.
But they are on our checklist. They are on our wish list. They are an idea list. So
I don't know. What would you, and when next time you come up to her and say that, like, I don't know, we're working on it. Would you like to help out to make it faster? What can you do to help do that?
Yeah.
You know, instead of coming complaining about why things aren't here, we'll come to you and say, great, well, we're having a problem there. How can you help us get that done?
Yeah, what's your idea?
You
How
seem
can
to be
you help
very
us?
concerned about it. What you want to invest your time and energy into it? Because it seems like you care about this.
Yeah.
We need more people to care about this to get it done.
That's right. That's right.
That's
so
the straight truth.
There's our blurb on that one. So there you go.
Excellent. Well,
But come
thank you
help
very
us
much.
if you can. We'd appreciate it.
And come on out. Come downtown today. Come shopping. Come check out.
Come see what's going on.
Come check out Main Street Arts and their open house. Come see all the cool downtown merchants.
It's time to get your mom's Mother's Day present. Do not wait till the last minute.
Yeah,
come
get
on
some
down.
shopping down now so you're not that person on May the 12th or whenever Mother's Day is, walking around at the cards or picking through the flowers or picking through the leftovers.
Going to get a card really quick.
Exactly. So, very good. Well, thank you, Barbara,
Well, you're
as
welcome.
always.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
And we'll see you next time,
See you
if
next
not
time.
sooner here.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
All right, 9:56, quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The April employment report points to a significant cooling of the red-hot job market. The Labor Department says employers added 175,000 jobs last month. That was far less than the 233,000 that analysts were expecting. It's also much lower than the 315,000 hires in the month of March. The unemployment rate rose a notch to 3.9%. That's up from 3.8% in March. Wall Street's benchmark shot higher following release of the jobs report. There's speculation it could encourage the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates at some point later this year. Apple shares rose 6% after the tech giant raised its dividend and announced a $110 billion share buyback, even as iPhone sales continue to sag. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham has pursued an agenda to seriously impair and remove your Second Amendment rights to use, own, or purchase firearms and firearm-related items in our state. Last legislative session, District 27 Republican Senator Greg Nibert worked effectively and successfully with the NRA and other pro-Second Amendment groups to defeat the governor's attempt to ban or register firearms and accessories. We must retain legislators like Senator Nibert, who has the proven knowledge, skills, and experience to stop the liberal progressives from imposing upon our constitutional rights. Senator Nibert is the only candidate running for Senate District 27 to be rated A and endorsed by the NRA. Please vote to retain Senator Greg Nibert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nibert for State Senate.
Artesia General Hospital's Rehabilitation Center is here to help you recover and get back to the activities you love. Rehabilitation services include physical, occupational, and speech therapy, all led by experienced, licensed therapists. From symptom management to patient education, customized home exercise programs, and family support, Artesia General Hospital's integrated approach to rehabilitation is designed to facilitate your best possible recovery so you can get back to work, back to play, and back to life. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab or by calling 575-736-8174.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. We're about done for today's show. If you miss any part of the show, you can always check it out at your leisure. Just log on to our website, ksvptv.com. There's all our different channels for sports and our different programming. You'll click on there for Mornings with Mike Winters. All of our interviews are there for you to check out at your leisure. Of course, we replayed our interview we had with the members from VFW Post 12184, talking about their golf tournament, talking about their day of service tomorrow, and some of their other stuff happening. We had our interview we replayed with Dr. Keon and the folks at Carabelli Dental, just having a great conversation with them. And, of course, Barbara just joined us a few minutes ago from Main Street Roswell, talking about some upcoming events, volunteers getting involved. They're looking for more people. If you're looking for a place to make an impact in our community, go talk to the folks at Main Street Roswell. They've got many things that they need help with. All right, we got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. A modest 175,000 jobs added in April. It's a sign that persistently high interest rates may be starting to take a bigger toll on the world's largest economy. Heritage Foundation public finance economist E.J. Antoni tells the Salem Radio Network there was one positive development coming out of the report.
We stopped hemorrhaging full-time jobs. In fact, we actually added full-time jobs. Now, unfortunately, they've still been flat over the last year, so we haven't added any on net in the last 12 months, but we've stopped the decline.
Antoni says the labor force participation rate of 62.7% remains frustratingly low.
The big thing with the labor force participation rate is that it has basically settled at a level far below where it was pre-pandemic, and that's a result of millions of people being missing from the labor force.
The unemployment rate ticked up from 3.8 to 3.9% in April. Also at townhall.com, workers have begun removing a bridge over a Connecticut highway that was damaged in a fiery crash involving a gasoline tanker truck. The demolition that began this morning is expected to keep both sides of Interstate 95 in Norwalk closed through the weekend and extend a traffic nightmare on a major artery linking New England and New York. Donald Trump returning to court at his criminal trial as it enters the 11th day. And this will cap a second week of witness testimony. The former president accused of falsifying internal business records to hide the true nature of those payments. He has pleaded not guilty. Wall Street sharply higher, erasing its losses for the week. The Dow up 432 points. The Nasdaq adding 304 points. More at